4th down and 6. Old Bridge gotta have it. Shotgun formation. Nugent, a lot of time. Rolls out. He's running out of space. Will roll the other way. They look, corner of the end zone. Touchdown!
Rowan heading for the touchpad with the lead. And the Props will take the men's 400-yard freestyle relay.
Andrews will be in shotgun. He takes the snap, makes the handoff. He'll throw it down the left sideline. He's got a wide open receiver. He's got the touchdown.
Motion man is Simmons. Trotman throwing towards Simmons down the field, and he makes the catch in traffic for a Bearcats touchdown.
Back to pass, middle of the field. The catch is made by Britt. She's off to the races at the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10. Britt is in for the score.
Back on in, here's Yoxon. Yoxon to the backhand, trying to go to the front, makes the move and shot, and he scores!
Gracie comes set and delivers. And that's it on the ground to second. Throw to first, in time, and the ball game is over. South Shore survives a late scare, and they are the 2024 New York State Little League Baseball champions.
Live from Lombardi Field in Old Bridge, New Jersey, the PDF Sports Network is proud to welcome you into coverage of Old Bridge Knights High School football. Good evening, everybody. My name is John McCool, joined alongside Joe Foreman and Nicholas Bavona, and tonight, the 4-1 Knights look to continue their winning ways after back-to-back victories, and they take on an out-of-division opponent against the Morristown Colonials. And Joe and Nick, the Knights team has been really dominant over the past 2 weeks, with the victories over South Brunswick and East Brunswick by a combined score of 93-7. Guys, how are we feeling heading into game number 6 for the Knights?
John, if you're the Knights, you have to be feeling pretty good at this point in the season. Each of their 4 wins have been very decisive and in many ways completely dominant. The one loss on the schedule to Piscataway was a disappointing result 3 weeks ago, but you already touched on how this team has taken their play to another level the past 2 weeks. I think this Morristown team certainly presents a challenge for the Knights as they enter the back half of the schedule, but looking at how well Old Bridge has played each of the last 2 weeks, you have to believe this team is up for that challenge.
Let's take a look at last week for the Knights. A huge win on the road against East Brunswick, 48-0. We saw Old Bridge really spread the love in terms of the run game. The defense was lights out, and Brody Nugent did his usual Brody Nugent things, but only had to throw 10 total passes in that game. The story really was this defense and what they were able to do in that matchup.
Well, if you look at that matchup, guys, and what it really came down to was the Knights have been pretty much doing this all season long. Their defense has been sensational. Only 41 points allowed so far on the season. And you also look at it like this way, too. Their offense is just firing on all cylinders. Nugent, as you mentioned, John, 10 passes total, did still throw for 100 yards in that game, but at the end of the day, this team ran for over 120 yards on the ground. So you have to look at it like this. They're firing on every single cylinder right now. Special teams is doing great, their defense is doing great, and their offense is doing great as well. Can they carry it over to another game tonight and get a 3-game win streak at the end of the evening?
And to pivot to Morristown, this is a team that they've had their struggles so far, off to a 2-3 start to the year. They played some tough teams, though. They're coming off a 41-17 loss against a really good Mount Olive team at home. However, despite going 4-6 last season, one of those 4 wins, they came against these Old Bridge Knights. So this is still a matchup to watch out here today.
No question about it, John. This is not only an out-of-division game that the Knights can't afford to look past, but this team is also looking to avenge that loss to the Colonials last season. We'll talk a bit more about why this non-divisional game is so important shortly, but looking back to the matchup last season, it was a low-scoring defensive affair between these two teams that saw the Knights lose quarterback Brody Nugent in the second quarter. Despite the loss of their star quarterback, Old Bridge remained in it until the very end, but the Colonials held on for the 14-7 win. Both teams were forced to rely heavily on the ground game last year, and even with Brody Nugent in the game, he was just 5 for 14 throwing the football. 5 pass throwers for the two teams combined for just 155 yards in the matchup last year, and both Colonial touchdowns came on the ground. When the Knights have looked vulnerable this year, particularly against Piscataway, they had a tough time slowing down the run. That's something they hope to change here tonight.
In terms of where Old Bridge sits in the national gold standing, speaking of how important this game is, they are tied in terms of record with Piscataway at 4-1 in the division. Old Bridge is 2-1, while Piscataway sits at 2-0. However, Piscataway beat Old Bridge earlier this season, so the tiebreaker does lie with Piscataway. For Old Bridge, this game will not factor into that division record specifically, but still a very important win potentially for their overall playoff picture. It also becomes a lot more important if Piscataway, they end up winning out for that division.
Yeah, I think, it's tough for Old Bridge in the sense of when you lose that game in division, you effectively you're basically down 2 games in a sense, because even if Piscataway loses a game and Old Bridge is to tie them in the standings, you're still losing that tiebreaker. So Old Bridge, yes, definitely would like to get the win tonight. Obviously, it doesn't mean much in the terms of division play, but getting the win tonight still means a lot because you get a 3-game win streak, you get to keep going on the season. You play Monroe next week, who is in your division. So if you get a 3-game win streak going into another division matchup next week, that can help you improve your record to potentially 3-1. And then if you get some help along the way from opponents against Piscataway, gives your team a really good opportunity to get back and try to get on top of that national gold division.
All right, great stuff, guys. With that, we will take a break for a message from our sponsors, and when we come back, Nick, Joe, and I continue our pregame coverage right here on the PDF Sports Network.
Celebrating 65 years, the Old Bridge Rebels Youth Organization is the longest-running and most successful youth organization, serving Old Bridge Township. The Rebels are the premier football and cheer organization with a long and rich history in coaching and developing our community's future leaders. Through proper guidance and leadership, the Rebels program assists the youth in developing the qualities of safe play, discipline, teamwork, fundamentals, and well-being. We will continue to focus on these goals while maintaining a strong presence in the community. Check us out at swsrebels.org.
This football season, stop by Market Boy Liquors, your hometown destination for over 20 years. Family-owned and operated, our 8,000-square-foot store features the largest beer cooler in the area, plus an unbeatable selection of wine, spirits, cigars, and craft beer. Conveniently located at 1132 Englishtown Road, Old Bridge, New Jersey, 08857, Market Boy Liquors is proud to serve our community with the best variety and friendly service. Call us today at 732-251-4616 and make Market Boy your game day headquarters.
When it comes to buying and selling a home, do it with Peter Hunt's Home Team, powered by Century 21. For years, Peter has dedicated his life to the real estate industry, offering help and care to all of his clients. With experience and proven results, Peter is an award-winning realtor and the top producer for Century 21 Action Plus. A resident of Old Bridge, put Peter to work at selling your home or finding the home of your dreams. Call 1-800-299-2129 or reach Peter directly at 9086-014-934.
For raising the standard in facility services and commercial cleaning look to Pritchard Industries. For over 35 years, our commitment to creating clean, healthy, and safe environments is unwavering, ensuring that your facility not only looks pristine, but also promotes well-being and productivity so your business can excel. Specializing in comprehensive commercial cleaning solutions, advanced facility services, responsible sustainable practices, and innovative technology, contact us now at PritchardIndustries.com. Pritchard Industries, here for you.
At Giuseppe's Old School Italian Pizzeria, we bring you the perfect blend of tradition and flavor. Whether you're craving a classic New York-style pizza, a hearty pasta dish, or a fresh Italian hero, we've got something for everyone. Stop by, grab a slice, and taste the difference of real old-school Italian cooking right here in Old Bridge, New Jersey. Giuseppe's, located at 2581 County Road 516 in Old Bridge. Simply delicious.
At Maz Transport, we're ready to get your vacation started early with luxury airport service and your transportation needs. In fact, whether it's for corporate transport, trips to Atlantic City, a night in the city, date night, or any other need, Maz Transport is your choice for our luxury fleet to take you there in style. Call or text 732-2071-079 and let us know where you want to go, and we'll take care of the rest at Maz Transport.
At Function Forward Physical Therapy, we listen to your specific needs, utilize manual therapy techniques to decrease pain and restore mobility, emphasize customized exercise plans, and are here to assist in all your function and fitness needs. Whether it's return to work or play rehab, fitness training, or our soft wave therapy program, we're here to help you get better, feel better, and live better. Function Forward Physical Therapy. Check us out today.
And we are back here on the PDF Sports Network as we approach kickoff between Old Bridge and Morristown. But for the first time this season, we get a chance to hear from some of the Knights ahead of tonight's game. My broadcast partner, John McCooch, along with our engineer, Nicholas Bavona, are down on field level. John is joined by Knights head coach, Matt Donahue.
PDF Sports Network, I'm John McCooch, joined alongside Old Bridge head coach Matt Donahue. And coach, you got a tough Morristown team, obviously riding high. How do you keep your team kind of level after two big wins?
Yeah, we got to focus on ourselves. That's been the motto all season long. Focus on ourselves. Don't shoot ourselves in the foot. And teams that when we fail on certain possessions because we do something wrong. And the biggest thing is just focus on ourselves.
They got a pretty good football player on the other side, Josiah Brown. Wide receiver number one. How do you kind of stop a guy like that, dynamic player?
Yeah, our defense plays, rally to the ball, loving hats to the ball, and offensively, just we're going to go right at them.
What's the biggest key to stopping this Morristown team, keeping this team on a three-game winning streak?
Last year, they out-physicaled us, and this year, we're going to be a more physical team.
Is there a revenge thing going on there after last year?
Focus on ourselves and let the chips play the way the kids play. Watch them play.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
John almost getting left hanging right there, but he got that handshake in from Coach Donahue right as they wrapped up that segment down on field level. But John has another guest. First, we begin with the offensive side of the ball. It's been a big season for Amari Ellsbrook. John got a chance to catch up with the Knights wide receiver down on field level.
John McCooch, PDF Sports Network, joined alongside wide receiver Amari Ellsbrook. Amari, South Morristown defense, how do you kind of get at these guys?
Well, we've been watching a lot of film, preparing as much as we can. We think we've got a good game plan that we have for what they're running, how to beat them. We're just going to run our offense as best we can.
Obviously, last year, lost to this team. You got another chance here at home, big crowd, pink out. Is there any kind of revenge going on there, or is this just another game?
Yeah, a little bit. It's a little bit personal. Of course it is. A little history between the teams going back to youth football and all. But we're going to play the same way we would with any other team.
And what's the biggest thing to get it past this defense in this tough secondary?
Our receivers got to make plays. Everybody has to make plays, do their job, and we can come out with plays.
All right. Appreciate you, Maury. Thank you very much. John McCooch here from PS Sports Network. We'll be right back up there.
All right. Thank you, John, and thank you to Amari for taking the time to join us. But we not only covered the offensive side of the ball, we got a chance to cover both defense and special teams. 2-1. Christopher Benford joins John down on the field.
I'm John McCooch alongside Chris Benford, strong safety, outside linebacker for the Old Bridge Knights. And you got some tough players on this other side. You got Josiah Brown on the outside for Morristown. How do you stop a receiver like that?
We've been playing him since we were young. We've been playing the team since we were young. And I think our coach prepared us the best way possible for it. I think we're going to be ready.
Besides that, what's the biggest key to kind of stopping this offense from Morristown?
Offense, honestly, just no big plays. keep the plays to a minimum, still big plays.
Obviously, last year's result, you guys lost to this team. You got a new chance at home, pink out, everything going on. Kind of what's the vibe around that after last year?
Let's get better than that. Best chance we can get right here.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. John McCooch here from PDF Sports Network. We'll be back up.
All right, thank you, Chris. And once again, thank you to John, who did a great job catching up with some of the Knights ahead of tonight's game. And we're about 7 minutes away from kickoff. So what we're going to do here is throw it to one more message from the great sponsors of Old Bridge Knights High School football. And when we come back, the Knights take on the Colonials right here on the PDF Sports Network.
Since 2003, Elite Sports Physical Therapy of Morganville has developed customized care and physical therapy programs for thousands of athletes through evaluation and setting athletic goals. Whether a torn ACL, dislocated shoulder, or concussion is keeping you on the sidelines, our highly trained physical therapists can help you recover and return to the field or court in better shape than ever before. Come see what we are all about. Visit us at EliteSPT.com or call us today to book a consultation.
At Bagel Boy Bagel Shop in Old Bridge, we're more than just bagels. Come visit us at 2329 County Road 516, where we bake our bagels and bread fresh daily, have the freshest fruit and veggie platters, and an assortment of sandwiches and plates that are sure to satisfy. Bagel Boy is a proud sponsor of all things Old Bridge. Go Knights and go to Bagel Boy. 2329 County Road 516 and at bagelboyonline.com.
Old Bridge students take advantage of the Old Bridge special at Bagel Boy. 10% off all purchases with your valid student ID.
Protect your family, pets, and your wallet with Anchor Pest Control. We provide coverage for all your pest removal needs, and our all-inclusive service saves you money. We've designed our services to be both comprehensive and budget-friendly for homeowners. Plus, with our premium service, you'll get a free mosquito application. See how Anchor stacks up against the competition. Visit us, anchorpestcontrol.net, or call 888-623-2847 for information and service.
You gotta check out All-American Ford.
All-American Ford is number one.
All-American Ford in Old Bridge is proudly family-owned and operated, and we're the #1 Ford dealership in New Jersey.
All-American Ford is the tri-state area's giant auto group. They always have the largest selection, and it's not even close. All-American Ford is currently offering APR financing as low as 0%, low monthly lease specials, and thousands off MSRP.
Giant selection,
giant savings.
Go G-Men, and go All-American Ford.
Shop online at allamericanfordandoldbridge.com.
Getting a home loan shouldn't feel like an obstacle course. At CMG Home Loans, getting a loan is simple. Our loan officers are here for you every step of the way. With over 2,000 five-star reviews, when you're ready to buy or refi, we'll work together to find the loan you need for the home you love. CMG Home Loans. Simplified, trusted, committed.
John McCooch, Joe Foreman, Nicholas Pavona back with you here on the PDF Sports Network as we approach kickoff in tonight's matchup between Old Bridge and Morristown. Coin toss underway as well. But let's take a look at the last year's matchup between these two teams a bit more. 14-7 was your final score in Morristown in favor of the Colonials. Obviously, you mentioned the Brody Nugent injury in that game. It was a slow one. Neither offense could really get much going. The Knights, though, still rushed for 151 total yards. Brody Nugent, before he exited, put up 87. Jeremiah Dixon had 52. What makes Old Bridge just a bit different this time around, though, against Morristown?
Well, we touched on it already, but being without Brody Nugent last season for much of the game definitely hurt this Knights offense. So immediately, that's one big change. And not only is Nugent in the lineup, but the offense is red hot coming into tonight's game. Last year, Old Bridge did not surpass the 40-point mark once all season. Entering the game tonight, they have scored 45 and 48 during the last two games, and Nugent is just 2 weeks removed from a 5-touchdown performance. On top of that, the team rushed for 6 touchdowns last week, and this defense has allowed more than 7 points just once this season. I'm not sure how much better the Knights could be playing right now, and if they can take it up another level from here, they will certainly be incredibly scary come the postseason.
And when you talk about this matchup today, we have seen an Old Bridge team only allow 41 points in 5 games. The younger talent from last year has stepped up into new roles. Coach Matt Donahue has this team fired up and ready to roll on that side of the ball. Obviously, this offense has been great as well, but what's been so great about this defense the last couple of weeks?
Well, I think when you look at the defense, guys, and what they've been doing, and Joe, we kind of saw this in their game a couple weeks ago against Edison. First play of the game, remember how that game started. Edison went down the field, first play, touchdown. I think it was about an 80-something yard touchdown. After that, Old Bridge struggled in terms of stopping the run in that game. They really were having a tough time in that first half. The second half has been what we've seen from the entire season from this Knights defense. They finally were able to stop the run, but the biggest thing also is that they were able to get great job in the secondary. No passes were being forced by this Edison offense. And you look at the matchup last year with these two teams, we're going to see if Morristown can get the job done. Can they get something going in terms of offensive style? We saw last week they threw for over 300 yards. The week prior, they threw for about 100. So it's a little bit of change of different styles from these teams. What will Morristown do in this game here today to try to throw the Knights defense off guard?
Plenty on the line today. We're going to keep it right here for kickoff. Real quick, Joe, one key to the game.
I think when you look at what these two teams did last season, it was a lot of running the football. The team that is able to pass the football tonight will be the team that differentiates themselves. We know these two teams want to pound the rock. The Knights have been airing it out well. Going back a couple of weeks, huge performance by Nugent. If they can do that, they have plenty of faith in their defense.
And we are underway here at Lombardi Field. This kick will be returned by Old Bridge, battling through a few defenders and taken down just around the 27.5-yard line. So Old Bridge's offense here with Brody Nugent at quarterback will start things off today in a huge matchup against Morristown for their overall standings. Obviously, Brody Nugent has had a fantastic season in his senior season, 925 passing yards already. We looked at Brody Nugent last year. They ran the rock with him a ton. They're still running the rock with him a ton, but Brody Nugent really emerging as a passer as well this season. He's become a dynamic quarterback for this Old Bridge offense as we're about to get underway for the first play of the game.
I think a big part of that, John, is the spread look that they've been allowing him to run this offense out of. It's really opened up the passing game, and he's still excelling as a runner despite being the only man in the backfield much of the time.
They do run a lot of empty set as Nugent drops back, looking left, makes a strike, and that's too far of his receiver, Cam Olivencia, who's been solid so far. So second down and 10 for the Old Bridge Knights after the kickoff.
Yeah, and if we're going to see, guys, what this team does here today in terms of trying to get the job done. As you mentioned, John, they've been passing the ball a little bit more than we saw last year with this team, and we've been seeing that for a bunch of the season. Last week, though, they did not have to do that and then win a 48-0 win. As I mentioned earlier on, 11 different players had a carry, at least one carry in that game, and that's really what the story was of that game. It was the rushing attack as well as the defense.
Nugent, he's got Rizzo in motion, coming back the other way, and we've got a whistle and what looks to be a flag and a false start, so that'll back him up. Second down and 15. Old Bridge. We haven't talked as much about penalties over the last few games, but it's been a factor for this Old Bridge Knights team, really since last season too.
Yeah, no question about it, John. We've seen this team at times plagued by penalties, and I think when the best method of slowing down your offense is self-inflicted wounds, you can look at that as both a good thing and a bad thing. You hate to give away yards by penalty. That being said, defense has had a really tough time stopping this offense on their own.
Another second down at 15 after the false start. Try that looks to be probably the same play here with Rizzo in motion. Fakes the handoff. Nugent running out to his right, bouncing over towards the outside. Barrels a defender down, and he picks up some yardage at around the 33-yard line. Brody Nugent getting going early in the running game. Third down.
Well, it's good to see Nugent get going on the ground early. We know how big of a part of this night's offense Nugent's legs are, both as a runner and in the passing game. He is one who can break, contain, and pick up yards on the ground in the scramble drill as well. And how about that? They put a big hit on him last year. It knocked him out of that game. Nugent deals a big hit of his own early in this one.
And I know Coach Donahue said the revenge thing doesn't matter, but I think the players may think the opposite. Brody Nugent definitely thinking about that hit that he took last year. But he's got an empty set and a big third down coming up. Nugent rolling out to his left. This is what he does so well. Throws down the field. He's got Olivencia. First down, Old Bridge, and he's down at the 46-yard line.
Big completion on third down for the Knights on this opening possession. It keeps the drive alive, though. We know that in any given situation, the Knights might be willing to go for it on fourth down via the fake punt. They don't need any punt fake on fourth down, as you'll get a look at the big completion by Nugent here. I mentioned it. He excels in the scramble drill. He can deliver a strike rolling left, rolling right, or from the pocket. He can throw from any body position out there. Big play for this Knights offense.
If Caleb Williams was left-handed, he'd be Brody Nugent. Nugent fakes the hand, gets the handoff down again, picks up some yardage, and that'll cross the 50-yard line for the Old Bridge Knights. A good chunk here on second down and a few.
And early in this season, we didn't see too much of Jeremiah Dixon. He gets a carry early in this game, and at one point, John, I wasn't sure he was still on the roster, given how little we'd seen him early in the year. He really emerged a couple of weeks ago. Last time we were here in Old Bridge, got some more work last week. Expect an even bigger workload for him tonight.
He got a touchdown at the end of the game in the last one we were at, Joe, and there's the handoff, and he's got Rizzo again barreling through, and that'll be enough for a first down. And the Old Bridge Knights keep things churning here at home against Morristown.
Yeah, that's the guy we've been seeing. You mentioned Dixon. We haven't seen a couple weeks so far, Joe. Rizzo has been the guy we have been seeing in that backfield for this Knights offense. Gets the first down, that last carry.
Another empty set look for Old Bridge and Brody Nugent. Allsbrook in motion, fakes it. He's going to barrel through. He's got a hole, and Brody Nugent, be just short of a first down. Looks like picks up 8 or 9, and the Old Bridge Knights continuing to work, but we've got a flag coming up after the play.
Well, you have to like the balance on this opening drive for this Old Bridge offense. Now, we may have to get our hero camera operator moved into the aisle. I think Vinny's having a bit of a tough time with the perspective, but what I'll do after this drive is attend to that. We'll get him set up in the aisle.
Me and Nick will have a chat. We'll be good. Hopefully we can get that set up for you and our crew and everybody. It's always tough to set things up at the bleacher sometimes. We figure it out. So the Knights get backed up on a personal foul here, so that's a big blow. We talked about those penalties just before.
Well, penalties like that are unacceptable. A big run gets you within about a yard of a first down, and immediately you give all of that yardage back and then some with the 15-yard personal foul. And it seems like this drive's been a few minutes long. We are not even 2 minutes into the first quarter yet. And had that play stood, the Knights were inside of the 30-yard line at about the 25 or 26. So this drive is seeing the Knights move down the field quickly, and it's been a very well-balanced attack as well. You like to see that.
You'd imagine that was after the play, so it'll be second down and quite a bit after a big penalty. So, again, they were driving down the field, a classic Brody Nugent handoff, but we'll see if they can pick it back up. Nugent looking towards his sideline and the coaching staff here to try to set this play up. Another empty set. Receivers on his right. He's got Rizzo moving over towards the backfield. And Old Bridge taking their time. They need a lot to go. This will be a handoff to Rizzo. Barreling through, he'll pick up a few, so that'll make it third down and long.
A big opportunity here for Morristown defensively. You have the Knights backed up into a third and long, and they're sort of in no man's land between the 35 and the 40. You're not going to see a field goal attempt in all likelihood, so if you can force an incomplete pass or hold them and set up a fourth and long, all of a sudden you have a decision to make. If you're Old Bridge, do you pin him back? Do you go for it? We'll see if the Knights are put in that position early in this one, 3rd and 12.
I mean, these are the plays where you kind of ask upon Brody Nugent to go out and make a play. Third down and long, like we've mentioned. Nugent looking, finding somewhere to go. He's got a strike to Allsbrook. Allsbrook's got him, makes a juke. He's being brought down, and he's inside the red zone at the 5-yard line. And Amari Allsbrook saves the error on the penalty, and Old Bridge is knocking on the doorstep.
And how big has this connection been all season long, John? Whether it's from the pocket, on the move, in the red zone, or on 3rd and 12 from the 40, Nugent has been able to count on Allsbrook down the field. And there you see the big completion to the Knights wideout. We got a chance to talk to him pregame. He gets a chance to make an impact. And, John, we have the Order of Chivalry backfield. 4 men back there.
I've been waiting for it, and here comes Nugent bouncing out, and that's a touchdown! Breaks the pylon. Brody Nugent, confetti flies, and Old Bridge 6-0. The Knights showing out here in the pink out.
And how about that for a statement on the opening drive? Old Bridge undeterred by a pair of penalties. They march straight down the field, and how fitting. It's Brody Nugent who deals the first blow in this one. He connects with Allsbrook for the big completion, and then pounding the rock, they go 4-man backfield. The Order of Chivalry, as we've been calling it. Nugent behind the big guys takes it in for a touchdown. Old Bridge leads it 6-0.
And, guys, the thing also on that drive, the big penalty, we mentioned it, there was a personal foul. They were not deterred after that penalty happened.
That kick will be up, and it'll be good. And absolutely, it's a big part of what Old Bridge has been able to do in these situations.
And
they
John,
have not
if you
made
are
mistakes.
a Knights fan, you have to like what you saw in that first drive of this game. Good passing from Nugent, as well as getting good ground ability. We've seen that the last 2 years with this quarterback. He's been sensational, biggest X factor for this team. And we mentioned it last year's game. Got injured in that loss to the Colonials. He's already made a big impact so far in the game's opening drive.
I mean, that's just exactly what you expect out of Brody Nugent in this game. Again, you do have to be happy. I mean, it's obviously they're going to go back in the film and they're going to rag on whoever committed that penalty, that personal foul. But the score, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. So, Coach Matt Donahue's got a lot to look at there, but you got to give it to Old Bridge, their resilience on that drive and the ability for Brody Nugent to make a strike. I mean, you go and you find your best receiver, your ex-receiver, you get it done, first down, let him get in there, and Chivalry is still alive here in Old Bridge, New Jersey.
And now the question is going to be for Morristown, how do they bounce back after giving up that opening drive touchdown? Let's see what this offense has in store. I mentioned it earlier on. What type of game plan they're going to come out here with tonight, guys? Are they going to try to attack in the air like they did last week, or maybe go on the ground like they did the previous week? I'm expecting them to maybe throw out some trickery that we just saw Old Bridge do. I'm expecting Morristown to maybe throw some trickery out here to try to fool the Knights defense.
Morristown will take this squib back to return. They'll start out with good field position, just short of the 40-yard line, and the squib kick. Michael Ferretto on that kickoff, and Old Bridge able to defend as much as they can. So I'll give you my take on what I think Morristown is going to do. They've got an absolute superstar, the class of 2026. Josiah Brown, who I asked Coach Matt Donahue about, he's not worried. I would be if you watch the tape on Josiah Brown, a star receiver, 362 yards on the year. He's got interest from a lot of schools. He did a visit to JMU. He's got an offer from Villanova and Lafayette. He is an absolute stud at receiver, so we'll see what he's able to do. Check out number 1 for Morristown of the Colonials today. That's who I'm looking for.
Well, John, I mentioned it ahead of kickoff. I think the team that differentiates themselves in the air tonight will be the team that gains the advantage. We'll see how much of a role he can play in the passing game.
Morristown starting out with the run, doesn't get much on that play, and obviously the Old Bridge defense off to such a great start this season, guys. What are you seeing out of this Old Bridge defense? What makes them so good?
I think it all begins with being fundamentally sound. This is not a team that misses tackles. This is not a team that makes a lot of mistakes. They don't commit key penalties in the secondary down the field. They give their players a chance to make plays defensively, do not get penalized, and whenever they put a ball up against this Old Bridge secondary in the passing game, we've seen it from offenses trying to throw. This team has a knack for those takeaways at the safety spot. Xavier Diaz has been great. This front has applied a lot of pressure, making it possible for those INTs as well.
Something we don't see from Old Bridge a lot. Under center football with the handoff, bouncing through, makes a no gain into a couple yards, and now a third down and medium for Morristown. The quarterback, Weston Elms, here for Morristown and the Colonials. That handoff was over and out to Kenneth Sharperson, who kicked off before to start things off. So third down and a good ways to go. In this Old Bridge defense, the alarms will be blaring as Old Bridge and the Knights, after their offense put them up 7-0, now have third down and a chance to give them the ball right back on a 3-and-out chance here as this Morristown offense have not thrown the ball yet. 2 runs, didn't go much to go there. Obviously, we mentioned that Old Bridge has had some struggles with the run earlier on in the year. Those issues have been, for the most part, cleaned up from what we've seen, but obviously this team, they do enjoy running the football from time to time. You got Kenneth Sharperson, who's got 428 yards on the year and 3 touchdowns on 70 carries, so we'll see maybe if this ball goes back to him as well as they keep it here on the ground for Morristown, and he's stuffed right at the line of scrimmage. So 4th down coming up, and this Old Bridge defense gets the stop.
And John, that's one of those play calls on 3rd down that usually tells you a team plans to go for it on a 3rd and medium, but immediately Morristown is going to send out the punting unit. So it appears that the Knights defense has a very quick 3 and out, and Old Bridge should be getting the football back, barring what we've seen many times already this year from the Knights, a fake.
And keep in mind also, it's 4th and 4, so if the Knights were to jump off sides, it would give Morristown a 1st down. So that's something that they also need to try to avoid on this play right here.
And we talked about penalties in this game. That tackle was made by Noble Heron for Old Bridge. So again, we'll watch out for the fake. You always got to be careful, always got to be on your toes. Running to his right, and he will punt this football. Brody Nugent is the punt returner, surprisingly enough. Nugent trying to bounce this out, and he will be brought down just around the 27-yard line. And Old Bridge with the football right back up 7-0.
The guys late flag on the field as well, right around midfield. So we'll have to see what that penalty flag is for.
5:45 left here in the first quarter. We'll see what that penalty is.
It looks like it's holding on the Knights offense.
I believe so. So Old Bridge will be backed up just a bit after that. And we still are waiting on kind of the official signals, but that sounds like it's what it's going to be. And that is absolutely what it's going to be, holding against Old Bridge. So a decent return after the punt for Brody Nugent, gets called back for a bit after the penalty. And Old Bridge will start off in just a bit of a less favorable field position for this offense. But now, guys, they just got to stop a 3 and out. You scored a touchdown on your first drive. I mean, you have to be feeling great if you're Old Bridge.
I think what you really have to like about that opening drive is how well balanced it was, and they managed to maintain that balance without everything going according to plan. They had the pre-snap penalty, 2nd and 15. Down the field, they had the personal foul. It became 2nd and 12. After what would have been a 3rd down and about, or I should say a 2nd down and about 1, it became, I believe, 3rd and 16 or 2nd and 16. But they managed to stay on schedule, even though they were knocked off schedule by a couple of penalty flags, kept moving forward. Pass game, run game, both effective. Touchdown drive.
Hand off to Rizzo. Rizzo looking for a hole. Chase Rizzo barreling through, and he gets to about the 25. So a few yards there for Chase Rizzo, who we've seen a lot of early in this season. We were kind of wondering who the main running back was going to be for Old Bridge. We were looking at Jeremiah Dixon. Chase Rizzo has really gotten a lot of action, not just in the backfield, but obviously in the slot as well, where he lines up right here. As Brody Nugent will look to lead this Knights offense down the field yet again in the game against Morristown, looking for revenge after last season. We'll see what Nugent's able to do in this empty set. He's got Allsbrook in motion. Fakes the handoff. He does get the handoff to Allsbrook. He faked me, and Allsbrook will fight through for a 1st down.
And those are the kind of lanes you get handing to a wide receiver on the jet sweep when your quarterback is such a respected runner. You know Allsbrook is a threat with the football in his hands, but this defense has so much respect for Brody Nugent's ability to run the football that Allsbrook gets that handoff and has a ton of room. I mean, you have a defensive end in an impossible position. He has to set that edge, but you have to keep your eyes in the offensive backfield on Nugent as well. It is an impossible task to defend both of those ball carriers who have the potential to break out of that Knights backfield there.
Receiver in motion. Nugent will take it, and he will get stuffed for a loss of a couple, and a big-time tackle here from Morristown from Josiah Torres.
Aiden Rios was the player they faked the handoff to there, and Rios got a lot of extra action in the big win last week, and I know the coaching staff was happy to get him some more reps, a player who's been worked into the lineup more and more this season. And I have to admit, that fake did get me. I thought he handed the ball off, but this Colonials defense, to their credit, not fooled at all as Nugent was taken down. 2nd and 11 coming up.
He's gotten me a couple times on the fake handoff, so I'm waiting a second to see who truly gets the ball. But Brody Nugent, another empty set look, and a quick outlet pass here to Olivencia, trying to get past the defender, and another big stuff from this defense for Morristown. Jake Brow will get the tackle there, 3rd down and long.
That's a great open field tackle, guys, right there. Not making that tackle. Olivencia has that sideline, could potentially get a 1st down and more. That's a huge play. It sets up 3rd and longer, 3rd and about 10.
Brown made a great play there defensively, as you said, Nick, in the open field. That could have been close to a 1st down if he doesn't make that tackle. I think Olivencia probably gets pushed out, but there was some room up that sideline if Brown doesn't make that tackle.
So another chance, Brody Nugent, 3rd down and long. We saw what happened last time. What'll happen here? Nugent with a strike, looking for Rizzo, goes up, can't make the catch. That'll bring up 4th down. Rizzo had an opportunity at the football. Another good defensive piece of work from Brow, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A contested catch there, no doubt. But, John, I think that's one that Rizzo believes he should have had. I think it did hit him in the chest protector. Really tough to tell if Brow's hand contacted the football before it got up on Rizzo. Maybe we can slow it down for one more look, Nick. But that's a really good defensive play as Brow, with a very strong showing on the drive, forces the incompletion, makes the big open field tackle. We'll have to wait to get one more look as the Knights are showing punt here on 4th down.
I think it's a punt here. Brody Nugent with the punt, and that boot will take a punter's bounce as well. No returner back for Morristown, fearing the fake. Start out with a punter's bounce, but it'll get it down to the 31-yard line, to the 26-yard line. And Old Bridge unable to get things going offensively, and Morristown will take the ball right back, see what they can do.
Yeah, and looking back at the replay, guys, that's one Rizzo wants to have back. And it's something that we talked about earlier on in the season. The Knights made this a point of emphasis that one of their games, I believe it was that Edison game that you and I called, Joe, that was a game in which they had a lot of drops in that game, and that was one that we talked about it. That's something you can fix as the season goes on. You want to make sure that you get those big offensive plays. That one could have gone for a lot right there. Rizzo had a chance to catch it, but just wasn't able to get it.
So we'll see what this offense under the lead of Weston Elms is able to do. Obviously, I've mentioned Josiah Brown. He does also play the defensive side of the ball. He did say that he thinks he can play the defensive side of the ball at the college level. We'll see what he can do offensively. There's a strike just over his head. That ball is dropped here for Morristown as Kaysen Mills drops that pass. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
While we have a quick break with the Knights on defense, we do have a couple of happy birthday shout-outs. Johnny Raimondi celebrating his 16th birthday today, and we got to meet him after the game last week, but Tommy Kassoff's dad, Jason, celebrates his 49th birthday, so happy birthday to Johnny and Jason. And I would say go Knights, but we have to be unbiased.
Got to be unbiased. Always got to be unbiased here on the PDF Sports Network.
They won't invite you back, Joe. If
the Knights will be happy to have me back, but we are an unbiased broadcast here.
Yes.
So
They'll always have you back, of course, Joe. Don't worry. Happy birthday to all of our birthday shout-outs here on a great day, a beautiful Friday night. We've got a great football game here so far as well, guys. This is quite some fun as Elms will take the snap. Throw to the left again, and there he is, but he's tackled for a loss, Josiah Brown. And there were 4 players immediately on the football. They know wherever Brown goes, we go for the Old Bridge defense. 3rd down and long.
when you have a player who's such a standout, I think as a defense, it may even help you game plan a little bit. You know who you're looking to take away. Hone in right here. And as an offense now on the side of Morristown, maybe you use that to your advantage, try and run some misdirection and show that Brown would be getting the football and then find somebody else. But, you know, it's just so tough to come up with an offensive game plan against this Knights defense the way they played this year. The only team that has had sustained success in Piscataway, they had that success largely on the ground. They pounded the rock for 4 straight quarters, controlled possession, bled a lot of clock, and playing from behind, that's tough for a team like the Colonials to do early in this game, trailing 7-0.
You look at the pass catchers, 23 receptions for Josiah Brown. The next closest player has 8. Elms looking. He's got another receiver and a big open field tackle here for Old Bridge. Jaden Endaz, who's been solid this season, comes up with a tackle, and they look to get this Morristown Colonials offense off the field.
And I mentioned it before in speaking about our keys to the game. This Knights front defensively, look at that pocket collapsing. You have players trying to swat that ball. Michael Kavas among them getting up there and trying to knock that one down. He's 6'3" off the end with his hand in the passing lane. And when the quarterback is forced to get the ball out so quickly, it is really, really tough to find openings against this Knights defense. If you're going to find openings down the field in the pass game, you need to extend plays. This Knights defensive front hasn't allowed for any time to extend plays beyond 2 or 3 seconds in the pocket.
Sharperson back for the punt. Another punt coming up here for Morristown. Sharperson with the boot. This ball goes sky high. Fair catch signal from Nugent. And that will be taken at the 47-yard line. So the Old Bridge offense with really good field position back on the field, up 7-0.
And the work they've done defensively, John, it's getting them progressively further and further up the field without picking up any offensive yards. The Knights punted the ball right back to Morristown at the end of drive number 2. They get the stop. And now, after their last drive started a bit further back than they would have liked because of the holding, this drive now moves them outside of their own 45, just 3 yards shy of midfield at the 47.
55.2 seconds left to go here in quarter number 1. Old Bridge up 7-0 here at home at Lombardi Field on a pink out. I unfortunately did not get a pink shirt for this one. I could have wore a flamingo shirt, and I thought that'd be a little bit weird on the interviews there, so I just kind of wore a black shirt. Kept it in kind of queue with the Old Bridge jerseys here. But empty set for Nugent. Nugent looking over, throws to his right. He's got Rizzo, makes the catch this time. And Rizzo's got room to run now. Chase Rizzo. Can you chase him down? Rizzo is down and tackled near the 5-yard line. What a run and what an open field situation. Great blocking for Chase Rizzo and the Old Bridge Knights offense all the way down to the red zone.
And they were only able to chase him down because he ran out of room along that sideline, John. He had great blocking in front of him, and sometimes your wideouts don't get enough credit for the work blocking down the field. Allsbrook stayed with it all the way. There was another block thrown at the line of scrimmage as well. I believe that was Jordan Mercado. And just like that, Old Bridge 1st and goal from the 7-yard line.
Under 30 seconds left to go. Old Bridge working with Nugent. Brody Nugent, can he get number 2 on the ground? Brody Nugent. Got it! Touchdown, Old Bridge. Brody Nugent. Another rushing touchdown for him. And the Old Bridge Knights ground and pound after the Chase Rizzo completion. The Knights, 19 seconds left of the first quarter, but they're up 13-0.
Well, I mentioned it during the pregame, John. The team that differentiated themselves in the passing game would gain a significant edge. Early in this one, Old Bridge has 2 big plays through the air. One involved the big run after the catch on this most recent drive by Rizzo, and both drives end the way that we've seen so many Knights drives end, with a Brody Nugent score.
Kick is up on the point after. It'll be up and it'll be good. Old Bridge up 14-0 here in quarter number 1 on pink out night. And what a drive, really, a shorter drive with good field position. But Old Bridge, an opportunity to go up 2 scores against a Morristown team. 14 is how many points they had in the last time they matched up against this team. They've got 14 in the first quarter.
Yeah, I think also, guys, has got to be a big sigh of relief right there for Chase Rizzo. We talked about the last drive, had that play on 3rd down, the one that hits off of his hands, goes incomplete. What better way to forget about that play? First play of the drive, big-time completion down the right sideline, almost getting into the end zone, getting inside the goal line, setting up that Nugent touchdown.
And while we have a break in between possessions, I'd like to thank one of our sponsors of Old Bridge Knights football, the Candied Ham softball team. You can check out Candied Ham on Instagram at CandiedHam_official. The Candied Ham softball team, a proud sponsor of Old Bridge Knights high school football. And joining us this week as a new sponsor of Knights football is Maloof Chevrolet, another proud sponsor of Old Bridge football. Check out Maloof Chevrolet, your local Chevrolet dealer and a proud sponsor of Old Bridge Knights football.
There's an onside.
Going the onside kick. They're getting aggressive with Coach Matt Donahue, but it goes the way of Morristown. I guess you thought you got a squib on the last kickoff attempt. You go for the onside kick. With the new rules in the NFL, you forget you can do that sometimes.
Yeah.
What do you think? Are you trying that right there, the way your defense is playing, or is that a show of supreme confidence in what your defense has done so far?
I mean, it's a little bit of both, right? It's very much, I think it's more so on the confidence side. You believe in your defense. You're willing to take that risk. You try to kind of pull a Pat McAfee there in that one game. I think it was against the Texans where he got into midfield. But I like that call. Matt Donahue, Nick Saban, same guy, right? So we'll see what they can do.
That's high praise right there for Donahue.
I mean, he did that against Clemson. That won him a national championship.
That's right.
So you got to be aggressive sometimes as a head coach. I'm trying to stay on his good side after he almost faked me on the handshake there. Elms with the handoff back up the middle, just crossing the 50, and a big hit from Endaz on the end of that one, but he picks up a couple, and that probably will expire the first quarter of play. Just under 10 seconds left to go. I really didn't think I was going to get the handshake off. I really didn't think it was going to happen.
If he did handshake, I would have cut it off just to make sure no one saw
Nobody would have seen it if you got left hanging.
Right.
Now, the last time that we had a handshake end with a party being left hanging, that game did not reach its conclusion. So
wow, yeah, that it did. You're right.
We had a first in terms of the handshake denial, and then we had a first in terms of a game not reaching its conclusion. So
the first quarter has reached its conclusion here on the PDF Sports Network, and we'll probably keep it right here on the PDF Sports Network. A great moment so far here, 14-0, guys. What are your thoughts on so far on this Old Bridge offense and everything they've been able to do?
Well, looking at this Knights offense, what really stood out to me in that first quarter is something I mentioned before, the balance. They were knocked off schedule with a couple of penalties. They got right back on schedule, and I think you've seen just about everything you'd want to see from this Knights offense so far, except staying penalty-free. The personal fouls, unacceptable. You can't have that following the conclusion of a play. Procedural penalties happen. You want to clean those up as much as possible. I would say almost impossible to eliminate those completely, but overall, I think you have to be pretty pleased with what you've done offensively if you're the Knights so far in this game, and I think when you get this kind of balance for Old Bridge offensively, they are really, really tough to stop.
Nick, what's the best thing that you've seen about this Old Bridge offense and this Old Bridge team?
I think it's just been a mixture of what we've been seeing all season, guys. They're doing great things in the air, but their running game is also doing a great job as well.
Trying to get this handoff up, and they keep churning the butter, finding ways to get through, almost getting halfway there, but that'll be just shy of the 45-yard line here after that handoff, and a lot of handing the ball off here for this Morristown offense. They're trying to build their identity and establish the run game.
And I think also what's frustrating too, if you're Morristown, is how do you stop an offense like this where they could do both things as better as anyone else can do in this division? They're passing at a great efficiency rate. They're running the ball and getting about 5 to 10 yards a carry. This is really tough for any defense in this division to do so, and it's shown right now so far in this first half.
Old Bridge looking for a stop here after a dominant first quarter. Weston Elms trying to keep his team within reach. Elms dropping back. Makes a throw, might have got there early. Good timing then, and a stop for Old Bridge defensively. Tommy Kessoff, the linebacker, gets in there.
And we'll get one more look at that play and see if perhaps the contact did occur a bit early. Either way, that's a very high-risk throw. Here's a look at it in regular speed, and looking at it in real time, I'd be inclined to say there was early contact. There was also the rear of a hairline in there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, they're closing in around Vinny there. We're trying to find him some empty space. And
here's one thing I also saw in the play, guys. They had a wide receiver open on that sideline. They had number 2 wide open, but it was not the best of reads right there on that play. And we'll see what they do. 4th and 5, you're down already 2 scores on this opposing side of territory. Do they fake it?
We'll see what they do. We haven't seen a fake yet in this game. Sharperson will punt this football. Doesn't get a good piece of that ball, but he does get a good roll.
Very good bounce.
Very great bounce at the 18-yard line. So kind of chipped it there initially, but that did take a phenomenal bounce. And now Old Bridge pinned back inside their own 20 here for this offense.
Yeah, that went from about a 20-yard punt to about maybe 35 to 40 yards just because of the bounce at the end of the play. So that's a big break for if you're the Colonials right there. But now the pressure's on this defense, John. Now you're down 14-0. Your offense hasn't been able to get any traction so far in this game. This defense really needs to make a big play right now in order to give them a chance in this one.
And for Old Bridge, I mean, they have been, again, riding high. 2 big wins. They've won, again, 93-7 in terms of a combined score. It's within the hundreds now in terms of the points they've put up in the last 3 games. Old Bridge has been dominant. Old Bridge has just came out, whether it's at home, whether it's on the road. They've been just outstanding on both sides of the football. And now up 14-0. They're in position to continue not just their winning ways, but their dominant ways. They're looking to really get this team to the next level. Coach Matt Donahue and his crew have really done a fantastic job developing these players. They've got a great senior class in right now on both sides of the football. So we'll see. Very spread out is Old Bridge here. And there's the fake handoff. Nugent trying to step up, and a flag on the field as that tackle was made by Mason Wessner.
Tend to think that's holding in the area that it's currently at.
Usually.
You know what you do when you assume, guys. I wasn't in the press box, so I speak for just the two of you.
But I was right.
We were right.
I wanted a gotcha moment.
You'll probably get one at some point today, Joe. Don't worry. But not here in the second quarter just yet. So it is right. Our assumptions are correct. A holding penalty backs Old Bridge a bit more. So first down and long. It's always tough getting backed up, but we've seen, again, Old Bridge has not had struggles when it comes to after the penalties they've committed. It kind of got to them a lot last season when they weren't able to bounce back. They've learned how to bounce back. They're a much more resilient football team, I'd say, than they were last season. Not to say they weren't, but they're just on a different level right now. They're really backing up.
I think that really is a testament to the job that Matt Donahue and the staff has done. We've seen a lot of the key players from last year factoring in again this year, but this team has taken a huge step forward from where they were at this time last season. They were battling for a playoff spot at one point, 3-3. They have a chance with a win tonight to move to 5-1 through 6 games.
Nugent looking, takes the ball, bouncing out to the outside, makes a move past the defender. Brody Nugent continues to find his way through and pick up rushing yards on the ground. Nugent makes it a lot more manageable when he can fake a handoff or just barrel like he did.
And he made a gain of 14 look easy, John.
Yep.
I mean, he took his time in the backfield, patient running, but not to the point where it was a fault. As soon as he found that opening, he burst through it and picked up the 14 yards on the ground. Not to mention, he ran over another tackler at the end of that play as well.
I mean, if you're going to injure me last year, I'm going to get to you this year, is what Brody Nugent's saying. We'll see what Nugent can do. Second down here for Old Bridge. Looking, trying to escape this sack. He gets all the way out to his left. Nugent makes a throw down the field. He's got him. Oh, my goodness. Brody Nugent extending plays. Looks like Olivencia. First down, Old Bridge. There were 4 defenders right in front of Brody Nugent, and he escaped it, made a good strike, and his receiver made the rest happen. That is just outstanding.
What can you do there as a defense, John? Nugent has been gashing the Colonials on the ground. You have 4 defenders in pursuit. They contain the edge. Doesn't matter. Nugent breaks, contain.
But there's a flag on the field, though, guys.
I still don't see it, Nick.
I see
that.
Basing
it off of the referee moving the ball all the way back.
I see them moving.
Well,
didn't see the flag itself, but
maybe that's how he broke contain then.
That might have explained a good bit.
I don't know. It looked like he had 3 white jerseys around him in the backfield.
It did. But
irregardless, it's still a great play by Nugent. As you mentioned, Joe, he had pressure on him. He had to make a stiff arm play just to avoid the sack in the backfield, extended the play with his legs, found Olivencia, but unfortunately that flag will push them all the way back. Now I see the flag as they threw it back. But
where was it? Near the down marker on the sideline?
It basically looked like that's where it was from.
I never found it on the field.
Yeah.
I saw you pointing. I'm like, Nick, where are you pointing?
Can't see it. So the Knights backed up yet again, and Brody Nugent, does he have another fantastic play in him? But, there were 3 in the backfield. Maybe there would have been 4 without the holding. Handoff. Looks like Rizzo. Rizzo making his way through. Chase Rizzo out to the outside. Chase Rizzo past the 50, and Rizzo out of bounds at the 35. Are you serious? When Morristown had him backed up, Rizzo got all the way down the field.
And they do it again, John. They get backed up by a big penalty. This offense knocked off schedule, right back on schedule once again. We've seen plenty of big plays through the air, one of those belonging to Chase Rizzo. This time he picks up the huge gain on the ground, and Old Bridge is now at the Morristown 35-yard line, 1st and 10.
And they're moving quick, are the Old Bridge Knights. They've got Morristown on their heels right now, past the 50. And now they'll slow things down. We've seen a lot of tempo offense from Old Bridge this season. It's thrown a lot of their opponents off guard, and Nugent has had no problem running it. But what a run by Chase Rizzo. Doesn't matter where you put him, he's going to make plays.
Had to be about a run of 50 yards plus on that play.
Looks like someone went too early, so that'll back him up a few. That might have been a bit longer. They're at, what, the 5-yard line, and then they got all the way to the 35?
They went a long way.
I'm horrible at math, if you haven't been able to tell by now.
Well,
I am too, don't worry. Right with you.
Well, that would be a 60-yard carry.
Right. So I was going to say. 60
Only
plus.
reason I said 50 plus. I didn't want to make it sound too bad.
Nick was generalizing.
It was 50 plus.
So am I by default the mathematician in this bunch?
I think so.
We are in very poor hands.
It's not looking good.
And you and I have done stats at the collegiate level.
Hey. We didn't have to calculate the numbers
That's
ourselves.
true.
The Booth with a combined math GPA of 2.7, we'll call this play. Looks like Dixon will get a bit forward. So they slow things down just a bit, and second down coming up for Old Bridge.
And just to be clear, that division is Foreman 2.5, Bavona 0.1, McCooch 0.1.
And 0.1 might be a bit generous for me. I'll be honest with you.
I think you could put a negative in front of my number.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, Foreman's a 4.0.
Here we go. 4-man. Here we go. Jeremiah Dixon working his way through. He is tough to bring down. It takes 3 players, and Jeremiah Dixon gets a big carry here for the Old Bridge Knights, and they get a bit closer.
Well, we've seen runs that have broken into the open field, the big run by Rizzo, some big runs by Nugent, particularly down around the red zone, but Jeremiah Dixon comes in, and it's a punishing brand of running that we've seen from him. Nugent has lowered the shoulder as well. Really no rest for the weary on this defense for the Colonials right now.
No rest at all.
They've been out there a lot.
They have. They've really have not gotten a ton of help from their offense in terms of just keeping them off the field, let alone points on the board. Old Bridge, the complete opposite. They're threatening yet again, up 14-0. Nugent drops back, looks right, pump fakes, has to escape yet again. Brody Nugent going all the way towards his left. Can he make a strike? He will just go out of bounds. He got back, he just lost 2 yards, so a sack by nobody, and Brody Nugent goes out of bounds, so they'll reset again.
And I think something that's been so impressive about Brody Nugent is his sideline to sideline speed. And he begins that play moving to his right a bit, rolls back out to the left, and not only did they not catch him, they weren't close. They forced him to run out of bounds, but Nugent has been sprinting around sideline to sideline, both as a passer and as a runner. And so far, the Colonials have not been able to find an answer. They're hoping to get off the field in a big spot right here, because if they don't, this could very quickly become a 3-score game, as the Knights have called for timeout.
Timeout here on 4th down, and really for Morristown, I mean, this is a huge stop for them. They've got to dial something up. I'm going to see what Old Bridge decides to do, if they're going to go for it here, if they're going to punt this football. Obviously, you've got Brody Nugent back there who can do both, but as much as they're up 14-0, this still becomes a big decision for the Knights.
Well, I can tell you right now, guys, they are not punting.
No.
I do not see a punt whatsoever happening on this upcoming play.
They're not kicking either.
No.
No kicks. This ball is being thrown.
No kicks, maybe some tricks, though.
Kicks and tricks.
Tricks are for kids, Nick. We just aged ourselves big time.
Yes, we did.
If you got that reference, you're north of 30. Well, you're not north of 30 yet, Nick.
Almost.
How about you, John?
I'm south of 30.
You're south of 30. You're both south of 30.
Yeah.
And you got the reference?
Yeah. That was on. I think
so.
I wouldn't be. I mean, tricks are still in stores. They're still selling it. I'd imagine the ads are still on.
To be fair, I haven't seen a children's cereal ad in many years.
Well, I haven't been watching children's television in many years either, so that's why I'm not seeing those ads, I'd imagine.
And no kids of my own yet.
No kids are watching the Discovery Channel with me, History Channel and all that. I don't think that's the target audience for a commercial like that, nor do I see the Charms that are lucky. They don't sponsor us, so I got to switch it back. Brody Nugent, they're going for it here on 4th down. Looking, Brody Nugent makes a strike, middle of the field. Can he make the catch? No, it comes off his hands. Good defensive play here from Morristown. Player might be slow to get up there, so they get off the field. Does this defense? The Colonials stay alive, and we'll see with that player how he's doing. Still on the ground now, but we'll get a replay of this. Brody Nugent bought a ton of time. Until if he got a hand in there, might have got a hand in there on that play, and he's still down on that field. So we'll see about that. But Morristown, a huge stop for them. Not awful field position at all either.
Still trying to get a look at who it is that went down on that play.
Right.
I wanted to say that was number 2.
I see number 2 as well.
Yeah, Dylan DePaz, but that was effectively a jump ball in the truest sense. There wasn't a lot of elevation on that ball, and I think that really made it difficult for the receiver to go up and make a play, but DePaz doing a good job getting his hands in there and coming up with the pass deflection and the breakup on 4th down. And that's a stop that Morristown absolutely had to have. They could not afford to let that Knights drive continue. They get the big stop. The question now becomes at what cost?
And DePaz being helped up. So good to see him get up and walking, hobbling just a bit, but off his own power, which is always good to see. And DePaz will make his way to the sideline.
And something that we talked about before, John, was what the Colonials would do after giving up that last touchdown. They go 3 and out on offense again, but their defense made a huge play right there on 4th down. That's got to be something now for this offense. Now that's going to be all important on this offense to move the ball. I believe they are still in search of their first down of this game so far.
It sounds about right. Here with 7:55 left in the second quarter. 2 players in the backfield. One goes in motion. Elms dropping back. Makes that throw. He makes the catch. Trying to find at least positive yards out of this one. Breaks a tackle. Gets tackled from behind by Endaz and picks up a few down right past the 40-yard line here for the Colonials.
Well, that's by far their biggest play of the day. That was an 8-yard pickup right there. Make it 2nd and short.
And they'll need a lot more where that came from because they've been behind the sticks quite a bit in this game, not picking up much on the early downs. They've had several 3rd and longs already, and even on 3rd and medium, they haven't had enough time to get a throw off that can pick up the first down, which is hard to believe. But this Knights front has done a really good job collapsing that pocket quickly and applying pressure. You can negate that a bit if you run the football well on early downs.
Elms will head back into the shotgun. 2 backs in the backfield. 2 receivers on his right, a receiver on his left. Elms takes it. Hands the ball off. Can they get that first down? He is jammed right at the line of scrimmage. Old Bridge, they will make you work for it. 3rd down.
Kassoff absolutely stonewalled him on that play. You'll get a look at it one more time here on the replay, but that was a big hit by Kassoff to bring that play to a close. Here's one more look at it.
The stonewall defense that we've seen all year. And
he had some help too. Valinati was in there as well.
Kassoff and Valinati, 2 players that really are just not fun to deal with on a Friday night. This defense, they don't just make plays, they hit hard. Every time you get a chance in the open field, we saw it a lot in the last couple weeks. Just talking to Coach Matt Donahue for a bit, you can tell that he tells his players, you got to hit hard. 3rd down, it's short. Elms makes the handoff. Can he get there? Don't. They do not get there.
They didn't get it.
4th down coming up for Morristown, and you'd have to imagine short yardage situation. This might be a time where you got to make a call here at 5:58 left in the second quarter.
I think it's a tough call. It is 4th and 1. It's very easy to say go for it, and I typically err on the side of aggression. I'm not sure I'd go for this. Because
stop your defense just got.
You had 2nd and 2, 3rd and 2, and between those 2 plays picked up just the yard.
Now,
so
are we having a measurement, it looks like? I think we are.
They definitely didn't get it. And I didn't think it was that close.
I didn't think it was either.
Unless if my depth perception just messed up with the chains there, but we'll see what Chain Gangs ends up telling us it is.
Question is, how generous of a spot did the officials give him?
Right.
I thought they gave them the right spot. I didn't think they gave them anything extra.
Short, but not by much.
Oh, that's. I thought they were further away than that.
Right. It's really not even a yard there.
Well, I think you have to go for it with that spot.
If it's that close, yeah.
I think you have to go for it.
Well, as much as I hate to say it, there's a certain play you could do in this spot right here, guys, for 4th and short.
Nick's a Giants fan.
Does it involve pushing?
It might involve pushing.
I haven't seen it at the high school level.
You have to find a way to pick this up if you're Morristown. Right. You have to have it.
And this is your opportunity. This is it.
They're going to try it.
4th down. We'll see if they got there.
I think they got it.
It looks like they did, especially with that spot. Waiting for the official call, but I think they got there on the quarterback sneak.
The fullback did a good job of pushing him as well to get the first, regardless if he didn't get it.
No tushes were pushed, though.
That was really close.
Very close. And we're still waiting. They might have to do another spot check.
Have to do a second.
Check.
We have to slow that down a lot. We're going to have time, Nick, so let's bring that down to a .25.
1st down.
See if we can pause it while we still have a sight of the football.
They call the 1st down, though.
Yeah, but we need to know if they were right.
No, I know. I'm just informing the audience of what down it is.
He's got it.
Yeah.
His helmet's right here. You can see.
Yeah, I think you're right, Nick. I think he got it.
Yeah. It looked like he got it live. So Morristown, I mean, still at the 46-yard line. So not, still a long way to go. But after the 4th down pickup, we'll see if that gives them some momentum. Quick outlet pass, looking for Sharperson. Sharperson fighting through, and he might have another first down.
It's a swing pass, number 3, Sharperson.
Big pickup for Morristown as this offense kind of finds their legs under them now.
What you're hoping for if you're Morristown is that 4th down pickup can energize your offense a bit. They've had their 2 biggest plays of the game on this drive, so that's a plus. And here we go again now, 2nd down and very short. You can't afford to see this go to 4th down. They need to try and assert themselves, running the football a bit more. They haven't had those big chunk plays that the Knights have had on the ground, as the officials were waving.
I think they might do another measurement right here.
Wow. I for a second thought he might have got it live.
They gave him the first down.
Okay.
Okay, so I guess I was right.
And
I thought initially it was a first down, too.
But it was close. It was very close. And just to kind of give you a time check again, 4:48. If Morristown, again, they've been taking their time on these drives. They do get the ball back in the second half, so this could really be a big-time swing if Morristown executes correctly. 3 receivers on the left side. Here for Morristown is Elms. Trying to lead this team down the field. He's got Sharperson yet again. He takes the boom! Are they going to call a fumble? No, incomplete. Incomplete is the call. They're still running down the field. Tommy Kassoff has the football. Everyone in the arena is going to scream like it's a touchdown, but I did see an incomplete signal.
Bit premature on the confetti there. We had the pink smoke, the confetti.
It's incomplete.
When we come back, you might see it in front of our camera just a bit, though it appears to have faded away now.
It has.
But you think that's an incompletion for sure? I thought so in real time. Nick's nodding his head.
But if I was a passionate Old Bridge fan, I'd probably think it's a fumble. However, that is an incomplete pass. Immediate signal from the official. But the confetti did fly.
Coach Donahue's certainly not happy with that decision, but
sure.
That's understandable.
Right, I mean, that's kind of his job to be mad with that call. So good for Coach Matt Donahue, showing some fire. But we'll see if this rowdy Old Bridge crowd can make some things happen. Elms looking out just too far of Sharperson. Tommy Kassoff was in there on that one defensively.
And I'm kind of surprised here, guys, because they were doing a good job running the ball to start this drive. Back-to-back passes, and now you have a 3rd and about 10. So you have to go to the air here. Would they go maybe the screen route to the running back maybe to try to get some yardage and set up another 4th and short? I'd be curious to see what they call.
Well, Nick, we have seen, particularly in the game against Edison, the screen game effective against this Knights defense. The pass rush on 3rd down gets a bit aggressive, tries to get in there quickly, collapse that pocket. Maybe you slip a screen in behind them.
Elms looking right the whole way, looking for Josiah Brown, but way too far. And they went to their top receiver, but that will bring up 4th down. So after a 4th down conversion, Morristown can't make much out of it. And like you mentioned, just passes all the way when it was really looking like a good run drive from Morristown. And now they're going to have to punt this football.
Well, they weren't going for the screen. They were going for the home run right there, but just too much air on that pass. Way overthrown, about by 10 yards. So now it's 4th and 10. You're on Old Bridge's side of the ball, but with 10 yards to go, I think they punted here.
And still 4:17. Still 4:17 on the clock, so it would be plenty of time if you don't get it for Old Bridge to go down the field.
Not to be lost in that play as well. Elms has a big arm.
Yeah. See if Sharperson's got a big leg here as this ball trails its way down, takes a bounce, see if they can get on that. They'll say it actually went out of bounds. It went out of bounds. And we'll wait the actual spot itself.
That's a big break for Old Bridge because that could have been down inside the 5. Right. Instead, it's at the 16-yard line.
That is a huge, huge moment. Obviously still not favorable field position, but that could have been starting at the 3. I mean, we saw what happened last time they started at the 5. They got a 60-yard plus run out of Chase Rizzo, but now Old Bridge starts, like you mentioned, about the 17-ish yard line for the Knights. And another opportunity. So where Morristown was kind of finding their legs offensively, now Old Bridge has the football back up 14-0 with an opportunity to get some more points right before halftime with 4:09 left to go here in quarter number 2. Nugent with 2 5-yard rushing touchdowns for those 14 points. Nugent will hand this football off. They look for Chase Rizzo again. Chase Rizzo has room. Bouncing out to the outside. Chase Rizzo has a first down and plenty more. And he's pushed out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
And so far, the Colonials just have no answer for the ground game. And when the Knights have put the ball in the air, they've completed huge passes. They haven't had to pass it very much. But when they have, it's been huge plays on the ground. They've been picking up yards in bunches. There's really been no slowing down this Knights offense so far.
And so far, it's really been the Chase Rizzo game. Nugent going out to a tough side. He's got a completion to Allsbrook. That'll pick up some good yardage, bring up second down. And a tough throw for Brody Nugent, but it's a lot easier when you're throwing the ball to Amari Allsbrook.
Sure is, and when you get him moving across the formation, there aren't many defenders who are going to be able to navigate all of that traffic over the middle and keep up with him. You then have the threat of Nugent running as well, so if you end up with a defender on an island between Nugent and Allsbrook, Nugent can take off. Didn't need to there. Completion and a gain of 6, maybe 7 on first down.
Look to the sideline, awaiting the play, and this so far has really been the Chase Rizzo game. Obviously, Nugent's got the 2 touchdowns, but every time you've kind of wondered where they're going to go, it's gone to Rizzo. And Rizzo will take this football, trying to make something work out of this. And Rizzo will be pushed down. That'll bring up what should be third down and short.
And those are the kinds of runs that have been lacking so far in this game for Morristown. 2nd and short, 3rd and short. And they haven't been able to pick up that first down yardage they've needed. And we saw it on the last drive. They had to go for it on 4th. And outside of some early down carries, the one that opened the last drive in particular, they haven't had the kinds of runs they've needed to keep drives alive.
Nugent looks to his left, home run ball looking for Allsbrook, and good defense here from Morristown. They were going for the home run ball, and with a home run ball like that on 3rd down and very short, is Coach Donahue going to get aggressive? It'll be 2nd down and 10. So 2nd down here for Old Bridge. Must have got the first down.
Yeah, they did get it on the previous carry, but I'll tell you, John, if they were in the situation where they had to make that call in that spot, I think there's a good chance they would have gone for it.
And if you are going to go for it on 4th down, if you're Old Bridge, if that was to happen, it would not surprise me in the slightest, given how successful you've been running this football. And they'll take Nugent. Nugent, just shifty work from Brody Nugent. And he stuffs his way through for another first down for Old Bridge. So to a lot of runners, a run like that is just getting tackled after the first man. Nugent just shifted his way through about 3 defenders on that play. And a first down for Old Bridge with the clock continuing to run.
And you'll see it right here, John. He gets up the middle, was able to break the tackle there. And how about the spin move at the end just to get that first down margin as well. Big play by the Knights quarterback.
He's made play after play like that in his senior season. Nugent with an opportunity to give his team a real big shot to go up 21-0 in this game. Nugent, a lot of traffic, finds his way through it. Nugent will just get this football out of bounds, and that'll bring up 2nd down here.
And that's a wise decision right there. We saw him earlier in this game run out of bounds on a play where there was no one open. This time just throws it away, and without a good pressure right there by the Colonials defense, setting up 2nd and about 10 here in this first half.
And 2nd down and 10 here for Old Bridge as the Knights, and 2:32 left in quarter number 2. They've got plenty of time to really just do about whatever they want. They don't have to change too much. You've got to work a bit quicker, obviously, with the time, but just past the 50-yard line at around a 46, 47-yard line. Nugent here on 2nd down. Receiver in motion. Works back to his left. Handoff will be made. Trying to fight somewhere through, and he gets brought down at around the 40-yard line here for Old Bridge. As time continues to tick.
Well, I think if you're Morristown with the clock bleeding down toward 2 minutes remaining in the half, your focus is shifting from get the football back and try and cut into this lead before halftime to make sure the Knights don't score again. If you go into the half down 14-0 at this point, I think you're probably content with that. They're very slowly running out of time to get another possession.
Again, Morristown will get the football back after the kickoff. Old Bridge receive first, so a stop here would give Morristown an opportunity to game plan in the second half, how to make something happen on the first drive to open things out. Old Bridge taking their sweet time to get this play ready to go, too. They might try to run this down and then take some shots and get some big plays. A big play has really been a factor for them. But they are letting this clock bleed all the way down to under a minute 30 now.
And I'm surprised. They're not that close to the end zone.
And there must have been some miscommunication there because Old Bridge will bring up a timeout.
And I'm wondering if that was by design or if there was something they wanted to talk over in regards to the play call, because now you're left with a minute 22. That's plenty of time. You'll get the stoppages after a first down, but it is 3rd and 7. This is a big call. However, you are left with just one timeout. So I think what you're going through mentally in terms of the process here, you pick up a first down in this spot, that would stop the clock, then you get one more stoppage. If you don't pick this up, I think we're probably going to see a Knights punt. However, inside the 40, around the 40-yard line, Nick, you're shaking your head. You think it's 4-down territory no matter what?
They are not punting the ball if they're in that side of the territory, guys.
No?
Nope.
Not a chance?
Not a chance.
I'll tell you right now, if it's 4th and 7 at the 40, I would definitely consider it.
Question is, was Coach Donahue consider it?
I don't know because you have to think that if you punt, there is no way you're allowing any points before the second half.
Keep in mind, the beauty of having your quarterback as your punter is that you can fake your teams with that.
I think he will have a choice. But will they come out in an offensive set, empty backfield, or will they come out in a punt formation? What formation will they come out in?
A lot of questions that may be answered or may not be answered.
Well, let's see if we make it to 4th down.
Right.
It's 3rd and 7.
We've still got to get there. Joe, you mentioned what happens when you make assumptions. We'll see what happens here. 3rd down for Old Bridge. Nugent stepping up, getting outside. We might have a flag down on the field. Now we have another flag as well as Nugent gets pushed out of bounds, shy of the first down. And we'll see what the call is.
It's going to be holding on the Knights offense.
Yeah, immediately Connor Long's hands went to his head at the end of that play. This offensive line all season long has really done a great job protecting Brody Nugent. How often do we see him take big hits behind the line of scrimmage? Almost never. I think part of that's the play calling, but part of it is something that is so often overlooked, and that's the great play of this offensive line. We never have to talk about Nugent taking big shots because this line doesn't allow it.
And I think our question was sort of answered as to the aggression on 4th down, because it looked like Brody Nugent was shy of the first down, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, they were going to go for it there on 4th and 2.
They're going for it, 4th and 2, 4th and short.
No question you're going for it, 4th and short.
It is clear they're aggressive in terms of going for it on 4th down and what they're going to do. In a lot of scenarios, teams will just decline the penalty because it would have brought up 4th down still. But obviously, Old Bridge, that's a favorable position for them on the other side of the field with a minute 14. It's a fairly easy call to make for Coach Matt Donahue.
Well, on 3rd and 20 now, it's going to be what exactly do you draw up here if you're the Knights? Do you just try to get a couple yards and force the Colonials to use a timeout? Do you try to go for the home run ball and see maybe if you can get that first down? We'll see what they draw up here on 3rd and about 20.
I was going to say get Chase Rizzo the football, but he's not on the field. Empty set. Nugent dropping back, looking, middle of the field. He's got Olivencia. Olivencia bouncing his way down. He's got the first down. And Old Bridge from 3rd and forever to 1st down and 10.
And that is a backbreaker for the Colonials. You force an incompletion there, and perhaps you get the ball back with about a minute 15, minute 10 left, 3 timeouts. Instead, the clock stops to spot the ball. The drive continues, and the Knights with a touchdown might be able to put this game away.
Nugent has it again, surveying the field. He's got to roll out. What a strike by Nugent. He finds his receiver, Mercado. Clock will continue to move, though, here on 2nd down.
Yeah, he needed to get out of bounds on that one and didn't do so. I thought he had a chance, but we kind of lost him along the sideline, and they're down close to 30 seconds and will spike.
Football has been spiked with 31.2 for this Old Bridge offense. Still some decent amount of yardage to go to get towards that end zone. Like we've mentioned, especially as Nick has emphasized, they are not kicking this football by really any means.
Well, they might on this
drive.
drive.
Have to now.
They might have to.
You've seen what Freddo's able to do.
That's the beauty of at least having the timeout in the back pocket, because if you don't get it here on 3rd down, you could maybe consider it, but it'd be a very long field goal, about 47 yards.
Nugent trying to make it a bit easier for his special teams. Looking, makes the throw. He's got Rizzo. Rizzo gets down at the 5-yard line. And there's Chase Rizzo, and there's a first down.
They just can't contain Nugent in the pocket. Once he breaks contain, this secondary has not been able to stay with the Knights wideouts. Old Bridge to the line quickly, and they spike it. So they didn't use their last timeout. Instead, with the respotting of the football, the clock stopped. They ran up and spiked it. So that's really big to keep that timeout in this spot. And now with goal to go from the 5, the whole playbook is open here.
Everything's open for Old Bridge. You've got plenty of time. You can use all 4 downs if you want to. I'd imagine they'd take the field goal, go up 17-0 if it gets to that point. But now you can do just about whatever you want, get your stars on the field. Chase Rizzo makes another fantastic play. But you've got everybody. You've got Olivencia. You've got Allsbrook. You've got Rizzo. And now you've got Allsbrook in motion. And obviously, Brody Nugent rolls out to his right. We've got a flag on the field. Strike it to the end zone. It's picked off. Ball is picked off. And there he is, finding a way through. Spin move. That ball's intercepted. And if that's holding, that's a turnover.
I think that's going to be holding on the Knights again, guys.
Josiah Brown with the interception. Player down. 2 players down on the field for the Old Bridge Knights as well. But we talked about Josiah Brown, who said he can play both sides of the ball. He just proved it. And we've got a player up and a player still down for the Old Bridge Knights. We hope those players are all okay.
And how about a swing of momentum right there from Morristown? You mentioned it earlier. They get the ball to start the second half. They could have been down 3 scores if not for that interception. That is a huge play for this defense late here in the first half.
No question that Brown has the hands of a wideout after an INT like that when he went up and got it, as Nugent was looking for the back of the end zone. And if you're the Knights, that's a turnover that shouldn't overshadow what they did in this first half. That being said, you know that the first thing that Coach Donahue says in the locker room is that can't happen, because that's going to be fresh on his mind and fresh on the minds of these players. I think if you make it a 3-score game right there, that may put this one away, the way your defense was playing. But that's a great play by Brown, and his team still very much alive, and as we've mentioned already, receiving the football to begin the third quarter.
And if you're looking at it from Josiah Brown's recruitment, he talked about being a 2-way player. That's something you're going to put on tape. Great interception from Brown. As Elms, with 6 seconds left, looking for somewhere to go, all the way down the field, looking for Brown this time. Josiah Brown, this ball's intercepted! Picked off! And that's Brody Nugent. Throws an interception, catches an interception. Nugent, as that expires the clock, he gets the ball right back. But that will do it for the first half. What a sequence right there. They were looking for Brown, and it's picked off by Brody Nugent. So Old Bridge goes into the half up 14-0 over the Morristown Colonials here on the PDF Sports Network, guys.
Well, I said it earlier in the game. You take shots down the field against this Old Bridge secondary, that typically doesn't end well. Fortunately for the Colonials, that play not consequential. It ends the half, but it ends the half on somewhat of a high note for the Knights immediately following the turnover on the previous snap. So we head to the halftime break. Old Bridge in front, 14-0. Nick, any final thoughts before we head to halftime?
I like to say this for Brody Nugent all the time. He's a jack of all trades, guys. He can pass, he can run, and you just saw it right there. He can play defense. That's a great interception. And, you know, you have to make sure that you don't get a penalty on that play to get an extended last play of this first half. Great interception to bounce back after throwing the pick the previous play. 14-0 lead for the Knights heading into the half.
Huge for Nugent's confidence. He could have ended it on an interception. Well, he did, except he caught it instead. We'll step aside for some messages here at halftime on the PDF Sports Network. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back with Old Bridge football.
Celebrating 65 years. The Old Bridge Rebels Youth Organization is the longest-running and most successful youth organization, serving Old Bridge Township. The Rebels are the premier football and cheer organization with a long and rich history in coaching and developing our community's future leaders. Through proper guidance and leadership, the Rebels program assists the youth in developing the qualities of safe play, discipline, teamwork, fundamentals, and well-being. We will continue to focus on these goals while maintaining a strong presence in the community. Check us out at swsrebels.org.
This football season, stop by Market Boy Liquors, your hometown destination for over 20 years. Family-owned and operated, our 8,000 square foot store features the largest beer cooler in the area, plus an unbeatable selection of wine, spirits, cigars, and craft beer. Conveniently located at 1132 Englishtown Road, Old Bridge, New Jersey, 08857, Market Boy Liquors is proud to serve our community with the best variety and friendly service. Call us today at 732-251-4616 and make Market Boy your game day headquarters.
When it comes to buying and selling a home, do it with Peter Hunt's home team, powered by Century 21. For years, Peter has dedicated his life to the real estate industry, offering help and care to all of his clients. With experience and proven results, Peter is an award-winning realtor and the top producer for Century 21 Action Plus. A resident of Old Bridge, put Peter to work at selling your home or finding the home of your dreams. Call 1-800-299-2129 or reach Peter directly at 9086-014-934.
For raising the standard in facility services and commercial cleaning look to Pritchard Industries. For over 35 years, our commitment to creating clean, healthy, and safe environments is unwavering, ensuring that your facility not only looks pristine, but also promotes well-being and productivity so your business can excel. Specializing in comprehensive commercial cleaning solutions, advanced facility services, responsible sustainable practices, and innovative technology, contact us now at pritchardindustries.com. Pritchard Industries, here for you.
At Giuseppe's Old School Italian Pizzeria, we bring you the perfect blend of tradition and flavor. Whether you're craving a classic New York-style pizza, a hearty pasta dish, or a fresh Italian hero, we've got something for everyone. Stop by, grab a slice, and taste the difference of real old-school Italian cooking right here in Old Bridge, New Jersey. Giuseppe's, located at 2581 County Road 516 in Old Bridge. Simply delicious.
At Maz Transport, we're ready to get your vacation started early with luxury airport service and your transportation needs. In fact, whether it's for corporate transport, trips to Atlantic City, a night in the city, date night, or any other need, Maz Transport is your choice for our luxury fleet to take you there in style. Call or text 732-2071-079 and let us know where you want to go, and we'll take care of the rest at Maz Transport.
At Function Forward Physical Therapy, we listen to your specific needs, utilize manual therapy techniques to decrease pain and restore mobility, emphasize customized exercise plans, and are here to assist in all your function and fitness needs. Whether it's return to work or play rehab, fitness training, or our soft wave therapy program, we're here to help you get better, feel better, and live better. Function Forward Physical Therapy. Check us out today.
Since 2003, Elite Sports Physical Therapy of Morganville has developed customized care and physical therapy programs for thousands of athletes through evaluation and setting athletic goals. Whether a torn ACL, dislocated shoulder, or concussion is keeping you on the sidelines, our highly trained physical therapists can help you recover and return to the field or court in better shape than ever before. Come see what we are all about. Visit us at EliteSPT.com or call us today to book a consultation.
At Bagel Boy Bagel Shop in Old Bridge, we're more than just bagels. Come visit us at 2329 County Road 516, where we bake our bagels and bread fresh daily, have the freshest fruit and veggie platters, and an assortment of sandwiches and plates that are sure to satisfy. Bagel Boy is a proud sponsor of all things Old Bridge. Go Knights and go to Bagel Boy. 2329 County Road 516 and at bagelboyonline.com.
Old Bridge students take advantage of the Old Bridge special at Bagel Boy. 10% off all purchases with your valid student ID.
Protect your family, pets, and your wallet with Anchor Pest Control. We provide coverage for all your pest removal needs, and our all-inclusive service saves you money. We've designed our services to be both comprehensive and budget-friendly for homeowners. Plus, with our premium service, you'll get a free mosquito application. See how Anchor stacks up against the competition. Visit us, anchorpestcontrol.net, or call 888-623-2847 for information and service.
You gotta check out All American Ford.
All American Ford is number one.
All American Ford in Old Bridge is proudly family owned and operated, and we're the #1 Ford dealership in New Jersey.
All American Ford is the tri-state area's giant auto group. They always have the largest selection, and it's not even close. All American Ford is currently offering APR financing as low as 0%, low monthly lease specials, and thousands off MSRP.
Giant selection,
Giant savings.
go G-Men, and go All American Ford.
Shop online at allamericanfordandoldbridge.com.
Getting a home loan shouldn't feel like an obstacle course. At CMG Home Loans, getting a loan is simple. Our loan officers are here for you every step of the way. With over 2,000 five-star reviews, when you're ready to buy or refi, we'll work together to find the loan you need for the home you love. CMG Home Loans. Simplified, trusted, committed.
Celebrating 65 years. The Old Bridge Rebels Youth Organization is the longest-running and most successful youth organization, serving Old Bridge Township. The Rebels are the premier football and cheer organization with a long and rich history in coaching and developing our community's future leaders. Through proper guidance and leadership, the Rebels program assists the youth in developing the qualities of safe play, discipline, teamwork, fundamentals, and well-being. We will continue to focus on these goals while maintaining a strong presence in the community. Check us out at swsrebels.org.
This football season, stop by Market Boy Liquors, your hometown destination for over 20 years. Family-owned and operated, our 8,000-square-foot store features the largest beer cooler in the area, plus an unbeatable selection of wine, spirits, cigars, and craft beer. Conveniently located at 1132 Englishtown Road, Old Bridge, New Jersey, 08857, Market Boy Liquors is proud to serve our community with the best variety and friendly service. Call us today at 732-251-4616 and make Market Boy your game day headquarters.
When it comes to buying and selling a home, do it with Peter Hunt's home team, powered by Century 21. For years, Peter has dedicated his life to the real estate industry, offering help and care to all of his clients. With experience and proven results, Peter is an award-winning realtor and the top producer for Century 21, Action Plus. A resident of Old Bridge, put Peter to work at selling your home or finding the home of your dreams. Call 1-800-299-2129 or reach Peter directly at 9086-014-934.
For raising the standard in facility services and commercial cleaning look to Pritchard Industries. For over 35 years, our commitment to creating clean, healthy, and safe environments is unwavering, ensuring that your facility not only looks pristine, but also promotes well-being and productivity so your business can excel. Specializing in comprehensive commercial cleaning solutions, advanced facility services, responsible sustainable practices, and innovative technology, contact us now at PritchardIndustries.com. Pritchard Industries, here for you.
At Giuseppe's Old School Italian Pizzeria, we bring you the perfect blend of tradition and flavor. Whether you're craving a classic New York-style pizza, a hearty pasta dish, or a fresh Italian hero, we've got something for everyone. Stop by, grab a slice, and taste the difference of real old-school Italian cooking right here in Old Bridge, New Jersey. Giuseppe's, located at 2581 County Road 516 in Old Bridge. Simply delicious.
At Maz Transport, we're ready to get your vacation started early with luxury airport service and your transportation needs. In fact, whether it's for corporate transport, trips to Atlantic City, a night in the city, date night, or any other need, Maz Transport is your choice for our luxury fleet to take you there in style. Call or text 732-2071-079 and let us know where you want to go, and we'll take care of the rest at Maz Transport.
At Function Forward Physical Therapy, we listen to your specific needs, utilize manual therapy techniques to decrease pain and restore mobility, emphasize customized exercise plans, and are here to assist in all your function and fitness needs. Whether it's return to work or play rehab, fitness training, or our soft wave therapy program, we're here to help you get better, feel better, and live better. Function Forward Physical Therapy. Check us out today.
Hello and welcome back to Old Bridge football here on the PDF Sports Network. I think we have a student singing for a homecoming proposal in the stands right now, and it is absolute scenes here at Lombardi Field in Old Bridge, New Jersey. Guys, we've got a great football game so far. Old Bridge up 14-0, but I can't see much of these scenes right now. I don't know what you're seeing, but how are we feeling about this one right now?
Well, I just want to throw it out there that we are experiencing some internet issues right now, and I think the big reason why is because we have a lot of phones out recording what is going on in front of us in the stands. I'm not sure I've ever seen a sea of pink quite like this, but there is indeed a song being sung in the stands below us, and I can't say that my high school experience was anything like this.
Not even close. So because of the high school musical going on right now, I think it's fair to say that she said yes, and we have it. We don't have the camera angle of the proposal.
Now, what would have been more awkward, John now getting the handshake, guys, or that being rejected?
I think I can live without the handshake. I think doing a whole song and dance, I couldn't even tell what song it was that he was singing. But if she said no, I would have needed an instant replay.
He poured his heart out on that
song. He did. I think, you know what? I respect the heck out of it from that. I don't know if I could have did that in high school.
I know I couldn't have done it. You know why?
Why?
Because I was never there.
Oh, true. Good point.
Out yourself.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm an honest guy. What can I say? Except when it came to my attendance.
Of course.
You know what? I'll give him credit because after last night, I'm shocked they even have a voice right now at this point.
Right.
So credit to him for being able to sing the entirety of that song.
I mean, it was, and he didn't have a bad voice either. What was it? That was a good song. I mean, and now we're dancing. Now we have a dance going on as well. This is fantastic. There are no words to describe it.
Couldn't have done better myself, John. Couldn't have done better myself.
I don't think anybody could have done better. But who could have done better than this Old Bridge offense and this Old Bridge team? 14-0 right now. They have stifled Morristown so far in this game. The offense has been lights out. Defensively, they've been fantastic. Everything is now over with our procession and our marriage here right now on the field.
All right, let's not get carried away, John.
I mean, that was that level of effort that we saw.
It was.
So that's just what it's all about. Friday Night Lights here on the PDF Sports Network, and hopefully the lack of phones, because obviously when something like that goes down, everyone's going to pull out their phones, as we all know. Someone's got to record it. Someone's got to get the viral video out there. But we have the literal broadcast here on the PDF Sports Network, so maybe that will suffice. But let's get back to football here, gentlemen. Here up 14-0, Old Bridge, and the Knights looking to begin a strong second half against Morristown, a team that beat them last year, and Coach Donahue and his team and his guys have been ready to roll. Morristown will receive the opening kickoff here in Old Bridge, New Jersey at Lombardi Field, and a great moment here for the Old Bridge Knights. They need a stop heading into it, but Morristown still very much in this game, up 14-0. They haven't had much going offensively. Defense has kind of kept them in this game despite the success of Brody Nugent, 2 rushing touchdowns so far for him. But Morristown, they really need a good drive here.
Well, guys, there might be love in the stands, but there's certainly no love lost from these two teams the way this game has gone so far.
Not at all.
Big first half for this Old Bridge team. We got a big interception that they forced at the end of the half after Nugent threw the interception. He got the ball right back for his offense, and as you mentioned, John, now they go into the second half, back out on defense. Do we maybe see another surprise onside kick that we saw in the first half?
Wouldn't surprise me.
No.
Say that now.
As the moon comes out, they say lonely is a man without love. He is not. Successful proposal goes down, and Old Bridge looking for a successful second half. Here on the PDF Sports Network, confetti flies. She said yes, and you said yes to watching us on the PDF Sports Network. Thank you very much. Fair catch signal made at the 31-yard line here. Morristown will start things off at that spot.
I love that line right there, Jeff.
I was about to say, Nick, how can I follow that up? I had to let that one sit for a few minutes. I was about to say, I did have a response.
I didn't either.
No, I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did. I was about to say, Richard is a man without love.
Well, I think this guy clearly does not care about any of that stuff. He has his priorities set a little bit opposite of Joe Foreman.
They told me I have a heart of stone.
Medusa got to him. And here comes the Morristown offense. They have been stonewalled so far by this Old Bridge defense. Running the football yet again. Sharperton looking to get somewhere with this rock, and he picks up a few. So second down coming up. And I think our lines are over.
All right, it looks like our internet connection has stabilized. I apologize for my lack of input following those last couple of plays, but I think we're good now.
Okay.
I'm monitoring the systems, and it appears we are back.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
I had no clue what that was until you clarified.
But now you know.
Now you know.
We know. Absolutely, we know. So Morristown will see what they can do up in a second down, and still a good bit to go. They'll hand it off, and stifled yet again is this Morristown offense, and they've got a 3rd and long left to go yet again.
Well, John, we've said it many times already. The early down runs really haven't gone anywhere in this game for Morristown, and when they've looked to pass on 3rd and medium, 3rd and a bit longer, this is a 3rd and short. But when they've looked to pass on 3rd down, they've just had no time to get the football out, no time to throw down the field, and all game long, Elms has been under a ton of pressure in the pocket. We'll see if they can buy him some time here to pick up this first. It's a big one.
It's huge. And
that is certainly an understatement right there, how big of a play this is right now for this Colonials offense.
You've got some stars on this field for Morristown. Where will this football go? Needing a play, 3rd down on the road. They'll pitch it to Sharperton. Tackle made. Old Bridge gets a stop. 4th down.
That play never had a chance. Michael Vincent all over it off the defensive end, and there was just no shot, though I think that might have been a 95 and not a 99, so I apologize for that. Justin Varchese made the tackle, but he read that play extremely well, blew it up behind the line of scrimmage. It never had a chance. You're asking a lot of Sharperton to get out of his grasp, and even if he beat him, there was another night waiting to make that tackle.
I hate to be that guy, guys. Don't be a Debbie Downer, but if there's one play I hate in football, it's the pitch play.
Yeah.
I hate when pitch plays happen because stuff like that's going to happen. You leave your running back in a situation where he's in open field and he has to make the play himself.
Punt takes a drift, and will be out of bounds near the 45-yard line. I do agree, though. I'm not a big pitch fan. I'm not a big reverse fan. That's my least favorite play. If I see a reverse play happen, I'm going to call it out before it even happens because that's got about a 5% success rate, at least when I'm watching football, I feel.
What do you think of the speed option?
That's fine.
That's fine.
That's one of my favorites, down around the goal line when you have a quarterback like Brody Nugent.
Right.
They effectively run the same thing without the option. He just powers it in. Such a hard runner, but
you don't need the option with Brody Nugent.
Meanwhile,
He just
also,
goes.
guys, if you didn't notice, the punt about went maybe 15 to 20 yards. Just great field position for the Knights to start this drive.
They are in a favorable position in just about every facet of this game here in the 3rd quarter. 9:25 left to go here in the 3rd. Plenty of time. Handoff will go back to Rizzo. Rizzo stuffing his way up the middle, and he will pick up about 5 down to the 50. So Rizzo, who got a lot of action in the first half, has really stepped up and is already getting the ball here in the second half.
And I think now, with the 14-point lead and the football so quickly in this 3rd quarter, if you're the Knights, you're looking at points on this drive, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown. You score here, you put the Colonials in a really tough spot behind by 3 scores with likely less than a quarter and a half remaining.
Old Bridge fakes it to Rizzo. Brody Nugent working his way up the middle, and Nugent gets a chunk play. 1st down, Old Bridge, and plenty more. The Knights threatening again all the way past the 40.
And he's not just a powerful runner, John. He's a slippery runner. He finds ways to make defenders miss, to pick up extra yards after contact. He's a tough man to bring down, not only in the open field, but between the tackles as well. That time he got to the 2nd level with ease and picks up a 1st down.
I think what I loved about that play is around the 45-yard line, it kind of looked like he got an extra boost of speed in that play. He's just so untouchable at this point in this game.
Fakes it to Rizzo. Yet again, back comes Brody Nugent, and Brody Nugent just bumbling his way through again, and Nugent continues to churn out yardage for this team. And Morristown, with Casey Flynn as the head coach, they've got a solid mentor in Dan Quinn, who's still connected, obviously, in Washington now, but still connects his way to Morristown. And you would think he's a very defensive head coach, and obviously there's the roots. But this defense on its heels really all game so far.
They have come up with some big stops, backed up in their own end, the interception, the turnover on downs. They need another right here. Clock inside of 8 minutes as we play on here in the third quarter.
Nugent, empty set. He's got weapons all over the place. Nugent drops back. Tough one to Allsbrook to his right. He makes the catch, fighting through, and he's down at the 3. Amari Allsbrook takes a quick look at him, and a big catch by Allsbrook off the shoulder. What a pitch and catch. And Brody Nugent with a big strike to Allsbrook.
You can't drop it in there much better than that, John. Allsbrook turns toward the football, and it's one of those look what I found moments. The ball lands right in his hip pocket, and how about those strong hands to maintain control of it through the ground, held on to it as he was forced out of bounds and thrown down. Order of Chivalry, goal to go.
Is Chivalry still alive? It is! Brody Nugent! Quick rush to the end zone, his third rushing touchdown of the day, and the Old Bridge Knights up 3 scores, all off the legs of Brody Nugent.
The phones are out, the flashlights are on, they're out of confetti, John, but the Knights are up 20 as Brody Nugent, out of the Order of Chivalry, finds his way into the end zone. Teams have had no answer for that heavy set down around the goal line. Nugent in for the 3rd time tonight. It's been a great evening on the ground for the Knights quarterback. This offense back on track, pending the extra point.
I hate to give them credit again, but it's basically their version of the tush push that the Eagles do. It's an unstoppable play at this point.
Extra point after is up, and it is good. And I will say, isn't it just quite poetic how the Order of Chivalry is the play that scores the touchdown after a promposal that we just saw?
That's true.
Chivalry is indeed alive.
Very alive, unless if your name is Joe Foreman here today.
Well, we won't talk about my personal life.
Now, guys, please take the headset off of me if I give the Eagles credit one more time.
I think that's, I will do it for you.
2 times is enough.
Yeah.
3 times.
So it might be a little weird.
He's got one around his neck.
Yeah. It's gonna be a tough situation to get it off.
But we'll find a way if you give the Eagles credit, or just have me do it for you.
Nick doesn't skip neck day. He has the headset that goes around the neck, and then the engineering headset over ear.
Yeah.
So Nick's got the dual headset look going on tonight.
A lot of neck support there. His worst enemy is one of those travel pillows. Kickoff coming up here as the Old Bridge Knights up 21-0 here on the Pink Outs. And there's been a lot, and I mean a lot, of pink here today. They got the memo, they got the message, and Old Bridge up 3 scores. Morristown, another fair catch. No return from the Colonials. And now down 21-0. I mean, now you've got to get aggressive. You're really backed up into a tough spot in terms of the game situation. This is not how Morristown envisioned they'd be in the middle of the 3rd quarter.
It's a must-score drive now, John. I think you're at that point in the game where you have to have points on this possession. Your defense has gotten you some stops. You've allowed 21, but the defense has come up with a couple of big stops, notably the one in the end zone, the turnover on downs, as we mentioned earlier. So this offense has had chances, but I think time has run out on them in terms of coming up empty on drives. They have to have points here, and I think down 21, they have to have a touchdown. Field goal doesn't do you much good, trailing by 21 points, and see if this offense can get going. We mentioned it during the pregame. I mentioned it during my keys to the game. The team that found some success through the air would be the team that differentiated themselves. The Knights have done that tonight.
Helms, another handoff, and Old Bridge, another stuff. So 2nd down and still plenty left to go. Morristown, really, again, you have to imagine, again, they have to get aggressive at some point. I'm going to mention Josiah Brown yet again, who got the interception to close out the second half before Brody Nugent got one of his own. But there really has to be a sense of urgency when you take a look at it from a Morristown perspective right now.
I think the question is, how do you get him the football with the chance to make a difference in this game? Do you throw him a quick screen? Do you continue to try deep down the field, up the sideline, hope for some one-on-one coverage? It's been tough.
Elms makes a strike, Big time connection. He's got some space to work as well. Gets past the 50, and there's that big play that they've been waiting for all game long when it comes to Morristown. A huge gain down the field.
That was Kason Mills on the reception, and that's one that this offense really needed. Maybe that gets them jump started. Maybe that helps to free up some space for Brown. You know the Knights are paying plenty of attention to him, but Mills with a big reception there has the Colonials in plus territory at the Knights' 45-yard line.
And lost on that play too, guys. Great job by the running back to pick up the block. The Knights were setting a blitzing linebacker on the play. If not for the running back picking up that block, that play does not happen. That's a huge play for the Colonials offense.
Everybody working in synchrony to get that play done. Can they capitalize now? Elms will fake left. He's almost brought down. That ball's going to bounce, and almost a sack for Old Bridge, but that'll bring up 2nd and long.
At the very least, you get that off and prevent the big loss on the sack, but you're in a really tough spot as an offense if you're the Colonials here, because on early downs, they haven't picked up much on the ground. You try and throw it, but when you've looked to throw, there have been a lot of incompletions, a lot of quarterback pressures, not much time to get the football out. So you run it on the early downs, you're in 2nd and long. You pass it with the high risk of an incompletion, you're still 2nd and long. It's been really difficult on the early downs. It's almost been better when they have to throw.
You have to imagine as this game continues to wind down, you'll see a lot more of the run game. We're going to see Elms run here, and Elms got room. He caught this defense off guard. He's tackled from behind, and another big pickup as Morristown has some life now.
And that's an element of this ground game we really haven't seen so far. Elms keeping the football, and he doesn't have quite the same burst as Brody Nugent up the field, but he had great vision on that one, waited for the blocks to develop, and there was a gaping hole on the left side of that line as well. Didn't have to make too much of a read on that carry, and it's a big gain all the way down to the Knights' 24-yard line.
Elms only with 3 carries on the year for -4 yards. Up to positive now after that run, obviously.
I think you have to give him more opportunities after that run, at least keep this defense guessing as to who's going to carry that football out of the backfield.
I always say against this Knights defense, you got to sometimes open up the playbook if you want to get some yards on them.
Still down by 3 scores, down 21-0. Movement on the offensive line, and that will back up a huge gain, back 5 yards. So 1st down and 15 it will be for the Morristown Colonials. In a moment where they really need momentum, 5:06 left in the 3rd quarter, still a good chunk of time, but things have to happen quickly, and those mistakes can really come back to bite you.
Well, they had a couple of chunk plays on the drive, and I think that obviously helps, but something that they've done well, they've kept it moving quickly. The Knights scored with about 7.5, 8 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter. We're still just under 5 minutes, so it is not to a point yet where you need to think about hurry up, you score here, get a stop, and you have time. So if they can continue to move at this pace down the field and get into the end zone, they're back in this game.
3 receivers out to his right. Weston Elms needing a big moment here. Looking maybe to run. Bouncing out to the left, he gets jammed behind the line. And a big tackle from Old Bridge. Stuffs them again. 2nd down and long.
Well, they'll think about giving him some more carries after a hit like that. Yeah. Here's one more look at it.
It was the exact same play they ran earlier, but this time Old Bridge had it perfectly scouted. There was nothing up the middle, forced the quarterback to go to the outside, and he got rocked on the outside on that play.
Kassoff drilled him on that play. And you'll feel that one for a couple more downs here. Not to mention that play going for a loss as well. Big one.
Tommy Kassoff is someone that I think you should be afraid of as a human being. He has been really involved in every single
He's a
moment.
nice guy.
I mean on the field. On the field.
Come
I'm
on,
sure he's
Joe.
a great guy. You know what I'm implying. Morristown looking right, and he's sacked! Brought down from the blind side. And Morristown gets stuffed here on this one. Huge play for this Old Bridge Knights defense. Their 1st sack of the game. Justin Barkaz gets in there. Or Casey gets in there on that play. And a sack for this Old Bridge defense.
It's crazy to think that's the 1st sack of this game for this Knights defense, the way they've been playing. It's 3rd and a country mile right now, guys. It's going to take a lot for the Colonials to get this first, and they're going to have to try to get something at least to make it 4th and more manageable.
Needs something. And again, you mentioned fourth and manageable. I'd have to imagine anything past the 50 is go for it territory at this point of the game. Down 3 scores, 21-0. For a big sack by Barchese. Elms, big moment. This could be the game. Pressure again. Finds Sharperton. Has a lot of room left to work. He's brought down. Old Bridge. Big yards for Sharperton. Morristown. Tough spot.
And John, that's a play that I'm surprised we didn't see earlier in the game. We speculated that perhaps the Knights might look to, or I should say, might face a screen from Morristown on one of these 3rd down and longs, 4th down and longs. This is the first time they tried it. It was set up pretty well. And I think maybe if they tried to block the first man to contact Sharperton there, that play may have been better off. He had to break the first tackle. It slowed him down just enough. And the Knights rally to tackle him 11 yards short of a first down, 4th and 11. And by my estimation, the game is very much on the line right here for the Colonials.
Pretty much. Will they step up to the moment? Elms. Should be a false start. Plays blown dead, and that backs up what was already a precarious situation. Already makes it so much more difficult. Play carried by Sharper's son. 4. So false start against the offense. A 4th down and forever.
4th and about 16 yards. They almost got back to the original line of scrimmage on that screen pass. Now that false start puts them at a 4th and a very long. And if I'm the Knights defense, I'm looking to avoid giving up another screen pass here. We just saw it go for about a 14 or 15 yard pickup. Can't avoid to have it again happen here on 4th and about 16.
Looking for it. He needs something to work here.
I think now's the time where you have to connect on one of those deep balls down the field.
Elms looking. Can they make the connection? No. 4th down stop. Doesn't get to anybody. Was looking for his top receiver, but that will do it. 4th down. Old Bridge gets the stop, and they're back on offense now. And it's really looking unlikely for Morristown at this point in the game.
I think Brown had the space, he had the cushion, but he wouldn't have had first down yardage. There was room to complete that ball along the sideline on what looked to be a comeback, but I don't think Brown took that route all the way to the sticks and would have been short, even if he caught it. So Colonials turn it over on downs, and much of that drive was built upon the back of 2 big plays. And with that turnover on downs, there's only 1:04 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. If the Knights can take this one down 3 or 4 minutes, I just don't think there's enough time left for the Colonials.
Nugent still working with an empty set, makes a strike. That ball hits the ground too low, and that'll be an incomplete pass. Was looking for Chiarella, the senior, on that play. So that'll bring up 2nd down. And Old Bridge still throwing this football up 21-0.
We've seen them do that a couple times.
I'm not surprised, but it has to go to Coach Matt Donahue, the aggression at Old Bridge. They do not worry about what the score is. They are still going to be aggressive. We've seen them put up 40-plus points in back-to-back contests. They're not just going to sit on the ball.
Right, and you mentioned it to him earlier about how much is, redemption and revenge on the mind of this team. When you have a score like this, you wouldn't think they would throw the ball, but that game from last year is definitely lingering.
Rizzo can't find anywhere to go. That'll bring up 3rd down, and Morristown gets a big stop. And he obviously gave us it's a very media-trained team, these Old Bridge Knights. And I think we all know when you can tell when a coach is maybe not giving you the full way they feel about something with Coach Matt Donahue, and you can kind of see him, well, he did shades on, but you can kind of feel it.
Right.
It does matter. They do look at that, and it was just last year. They think about that kind of stuff, and clearly Old Bridge has come out on the better end of it so far. They've hit hard, they've played hard. As the 3rd quarter continues to wind down here, Nugent looking to convert a 3rd down. That pass is dropped by Allsbrook. Maybe could have had some room to work, but that is 4th down. So a 3-and-out, clock stops with 15.3 left to go. And Morristown gets a big 3 and out.
That's a gift right there given by this Old Bridge offense. They go quickly 3 and out. Allsport was wide open up the middle on that slant route. But it's been a common, unfortunate trend for this Knights offense. A big drop in a situation on 3rd and long where it looks like they could get a first down. We saw it earlier with Rizzo dropping a pass on 3rd and 10. Allsburg drops the pass there on 3rd and 11. It's a 3 and out, and we'll see the Knights punt team come out.
Nice punt team will come out, and they will give the ball back to Morristown. Nugent with a punt, and again, no returner down for Morristown. So that goes out as a solid punt. They may have been just going all in on blocking the punt. They almost got a man there, but now with 3.5 seconds left to go, Morristown with a decent drive left to work with now. No return for the Colonials.
Maybe that's a strategy for Morristown. Maybe not sending the returner out there, try to get a block punt and maybe spark something on the special teams unit. They weren't able to get it there, but that's probably the reason why we haven't seen it a lot tonight so far with this punt team. They're trying to get something in terms of special teams by maybe getting a block and setting up their offense inside of the red zone.
Now Morristown, again, still a whole quarter left to go. This will likely be the final play of the third quarter. They haven't made up any ground yet against Old Bridge. Another touchdown for Nugent on the ground. Morristown running back in motion. Weston Elms looking, swing pass, leveled, ball's out, the ball is out, he picks it up, he's going down, touchdown! Old Bridge, scoop and score, and the Knights, that might be the dagger against this Morristown team. Defense making it happen.
Barkazi with the scoop, Barkazi with the score. The hit comes in right there, dislodges the football, and how about that for some acrobatics? In stride, off of the roll, and into the end zone for a touchdown. And that puts an exclamation point on what is shaping up to be another big Knights victory.
Now, guys, I want to point out, they did not give him the touchdown. They ruled him down. So he was ruled down, and it looks like around the 17-yard line. So take the points off the board. They'll have a chance in the fourth quarter to try to get that touchdown back.
Don't need to be touched down, and the knee did touch there.
Did touch.
He almost avoided it with the roll. Almost.
Thought about it.
Almost.
Had a shot there.
And that's how we end the third quarter.
Yep, that's indeed how we end the third quarter. We had a Brody Nugent rushing touchdown for Old Bridge in that third quarter. He has all 3 touchdowns, all on the ground for the Old Bridge Knights. He has been what Brody Nugent has always been all season long. He is just showing out time and time again for this Old Bridge team. Brody Nugent came into this game with 925 passing yards, has been really just a factor in every aspect. 10 rushing touchdowns this season for Brody Nugent in 6 games.
And think about how big of a game this is also for this team, guys. We talked about it earlier. It's not a division game, but getting a 3-game winning streak, potentially going into next week where you're back into a division game. And keep in mind, next week is also homecoming for this Old Bridge team. So a lot of emotions will go into that game next week. This team's still vying for that top spot in the Gold Division. They need to keep winning while also getting some help on the side.
Got Morristown and Monroe and Colonia still left on this schedule for the Old Bridge Knights. They've got a little bit of work left to do when it comes to the season and when it comes to what they've been able to do. But what will likely end up being, barring a fourth quarter comeback, if they're able to hold on, would be a 5-1 start to their year. This is a team that was 4-6 last season. An improvement already, and still a good amount of season left to go for Coach Donahue's team. A fantastic job that they've done so far in just developing this Old Bridge program, looking to get back to some old glory days. And right now, Old Bridge is close to that. Nugent will hand this ball off as Old Bridge continues to pound this football, and a penalty will be thrown. John Raimondi Jr. got that handoff. And a birthday. Our birthday shout out yet again for John Raimondi Jr. So happy birthday to him. But unfortunately, it looks like his run will be canceled.
Well, I think the Knights have done plenty well tonight. If there's one thing that they'll talk about in terms of cleaning things up, it is the penalties. There have been a few of those, and I think that without them, you look back on this game and you say to yourself, well, I think there's only one, maybe two plays that we really like to forget, one being the interception and maybe a drop or two as well. But overall, it's been a really strong effort against a good defense. This is not a Morristown defense that has struggled historically against Old Bridge. And you mentioned the connections with Dan Quinn and how much that has meant to this program and their defense. But the Knights have done enough and then some tonight, leading by 3 scores.
And, also it's kind of similar, Joe, to that game. I mentioned it a couple times already, the Edison game. A lot of things are similar in this one where the offense has been clicking for Old Bridge, but they're still not satisfied because of some of the drops, some of the penalties. That's really been something that they're going to have to fix.
Nugent will take this carry. Spin move from Brody Nugent, trying to pick up as much of this as he possibly can against a huge gain. Just when you think Old Bridge is backed up to the 9s, Brody Nugent brings out that classic spin move, but still some room to go as Old Bridge will face a 3rd down.
I'm not sure we've seen them line up in the order of chivalry from that far out before.
Right, and they've been doing it really back-to-back plays. Chivalry is very alive in Old Bridge, New Jersey.
They know what night it is.
They do. It's pink out. We saw what we saw coming out of halftime. They know. And also, it's really just a great formation when you have these just large backs and you have Brody Nugent, when you can get blockers that close. It's led to 3 touchdowns. Fakes it. Nugent escaping, looking for somewhere to roam. Lofts it out of bounds. 4th down. See what Old Bridge decides to do here. Up 21-0. Try to kick this football. Got a solid kicker. And Fioretto, who's made some big kicks. Last time he and Joe did a game, made some big kicks in that one. He's been solid. He'll move this football as well to the left as Michael Fioretto will try to kick this football and put Old Bridge up 24-0 and potentially give the Knights a stamp on this football game as they look to extend their season record to 5-1, only loss coming to Piscataway. Fioretto steps up, takes the kick. Kick is up, and it is right through the uprights. Old Bridge goes up 24-0 against Morristown.
He's been effectively automatic this year, John, and not just from within chip shot range, from just about anywhere on the field. And if it ever comes down to a kick for Old Bridge, they're in really good hands.
And we've seen him make some long field goals as well.
Yeah. Yep.
It's just having a reliable kicker, especially at the high school level, can be really tough to find from long, if even just from distance, let alone from inside 30 yards, 40 yards, right? So for Old Bridge to have a kicker is really just another accessory addition to this team that they've been building. They'll kick this football off. Again, up 24-0 here on the PDF Sports Network. Take this moment to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank all our sponsors who power the great people with the PDF Sports Network and for supporting Old Bridge Knights football and everybody involved with all of this. It's always great to be a part of it, to put this on for those out there and for Old Bridge Knights and their football program.
And speaking of sponsors, once again, we'd like to shout out the Candied Ham softball team, a proud sponsor of Old Bridge Knights high school football. Check out Candied Ham on Instagram at CandiedHam_official. Also, we have yet another birthday. Michael Kavas celebrating his birthday today as well. So 3 birthday shout outs tonight. And I think that one went out of bounds.
Yep,
sure
right
did.
At the 1 yard line, so they'll put him at the 45. Got a lot of birthdays here today on this colder, not so cold, but it's getting to that point in October.
Perfect night as far as I'm concerned.
Phenomenal.
Love it.
Can't beat it.
This is the best weather of the year.
Yep.
Easily.
High 60s, a little bit of wind. And Old Bridge clearly agrees. And what a showing as well from the student section here today. Packed house here at Old Bridge for a pink out. Homecoming is next week, like we've said. This Old Bridge program is riding high. They've got a lot of support, a lot of fans. A lot of people watching on the PDF Sports Network as well. This is just a great vibe, this program.
I'm certainly getting some flashbacks to being at the Bills Stadium a couple weeks ago
Oh,
with
that's
this
a great
current
place
song
to be.
going on.
That's a great place to be. obviously, the killers always come on during these kind of moments.
Great atmosphere here in Buffalo, but a great atmosphere as well here tonight. And look, Joe, they found more confetti.
More confetti. A lot warmer here, too.
Not in time for the touchdown, but it's okay. We'll take it.
We find it. Somehow you find
There
a way.
it is.
I see it.
There you go. There's all the confetti. I remember last year it came up to we were all the way up top on the press box. It came up to our booth. Somebody misfired the confetti, and we got covered in confetti, me and Dave.
Confetti misfire. I haven't been a part of a mishap like that before.
It was right after a Jeremiah Dixon touchdown, I remember. So the defense for Old Bridge gets another chance, and they'll just get it right to Brown. And Brown bouncing out to the outside, just getting the football in the hands of your best player, really. And an interesting moment. We'll see if they stick with this. If they get Elms back on the field. It looks like they will get Elms back out here. But you've got to, again, we talked about opening up the playbook against this Old Bridge defense, and they have really, Josiah Brown has not really found a way to get to the football a lot in this game, kind of headed into this one, looking at him. He has a ton of offers. He's got teams looking at him, interest. Hasn't had enough of the football as you probably would have expected heading into this game. Obviously has the interception. But not a ton of offense here, and Old Bridge, really credit to this coaching staff, has done a good job shutting down these playmakers.
Has he possessed the ball outside of the interception? I'm not sure he has.
I believe he has a catcher too, but not as notable as you would have expected heading into this game. And they'll do a double fake there. Good way to get to Sharperson on the outside. Might have stopped him from getting that first down.
Flag though on the play.
So this may get called back. We'll see what that leads to. Another penalty with 10:05 left to go in the fourth quarter.
It was right at the point of contact, right by that first down marker. So I'm wondering if this is on the Knights defense.
So we await the call, and we'll see what it could be.
I think it was a
Man
hit to the
downfield.
helmet.
Against the Knights.
That's a 15-yarder.
Personal foul will be a 15-yard penalty. So a big break for Morristown that they might have needed a little bit ago.
Well, there's 10:05 to go, 3-score game. They did hold the Knights to a field goal following the turnover on the fumble. If you work quickly enough and get the 2, we know better than to say never.
We do, and they need a lot of 2s, is the thing, because
Three
of
of
that
them.
field goal.
Three
All
of them.
3 need to be converted.
Make things quite interesting with a touchdown.
They've got to get there. Elms, ball down the field, makes the connection, has the room for the first down, is able to stay in
got knocked out of
bounds for a
bounds.
good bit. I think he might have stepped out, but they didn't call him out of bounds, and now they're going to keep moving this football. That's Brown looking through, and he's got it really near the red zone. So Morristown, I mean, this might be the first time they've been in the red zone all game.
I don't think they got in before. They were close, but they did not get in. So you're right, John. First trip to the red zone, ball at the 15-yard line, and even with 9:25 to go, you have to work quickly here. You don't have much time.
How about the footwork there to avoid going out of bounds, staying in and getting an extra 5 to 10 yards? Big play.
Elms under center. Another pitch play. Nick's least favorite. Will it work this time? Sharperson fights through, picks up some yardage, but not enough. They get some positive gain out of that, though.
And the question mark also becomes now, how many more times can you afford to run it? The Knights will be content to let them hand the football off, toss the football, whatever it may be. Just keep that back in front of you and protect that goal line.
Another penalty.
Injured player, and I think they also said that there's a flag on the field. I didn't see the flag.
I saw something.
Unless they threw the flag because of the injury.
Maybe
but
they
I'm
had to throw
not 100%
something.
Yeah.
Some sort of laundry resign. We'll see what this player, can't exactly identify the player out of now, but we'll hope he's all right. As we'll get a timeout here from Lombardi Field in Old Bridge, New Jersey. Morristown, first trip to the red zone all game with 8:52 left, and while we await to see the status of this player down on the field, you have to imagine, Joe, you mentioned that throwing the football is kind of something you have to start doing. Running the football is something you can't afford to do much more of anymore. Now, I mean, we talked about how the situation was going to be with 10:05. Now we're all the way down to 8:52. Still not in the end zone for Morristown. And this player back up to his 2 feet, which is good to see.
And I think what it comes down to for Morristown is, are you trying to get back on track and establish an identity. I think we're past that point in the season now. I think most of these teams know who they are. But I think getting back on track at the very least and gaining some traction on the offensive side of the ball is one objective here. And then there's trying to win the game. Now, it's unlikely. 8:52. It is still a 3-score game, but you have to have all of those conversions. So I think right now it's more about staying on schedule offensively, being mindful of the clock, but not being completely controlled by it. As much as you'd love to come back with the improbable win, I don't think you can let that overcome your offense here, for lack of a better term. I think you're just trying to make sure this drive ends in a touchdown, get the 2, see where it takes you.
Morristown looking to avoid another loss. Pump fake from Elms. Elms looked end zone. Now is the bounce out towards the outside. He's got room to work with, and he'll pick up the first down. Big time run from Weston Elms.
Well, keep in mind, guys, there was a flag on the field that was called against Morristown. So that play right there got them back to now the original line of scrimmage.
Right.
So it's 3rd and about 10. Maybe they gave him the extra yard to make it 3rd and 9. But the first down marker looks like at around the 5-yard line.
So still a good chunk left to go for Morristown in this offense. Got back to the original line to game. Clock continues to run under 8 minutes.
They're really taking their time, John.
Yeah. But you have to find a way to just get in first, and then you need some real big help after that when you're talking about the potential comeback. And another under center lineup for Elms in the eye. And another handoff, and Old Bridge stops any big gain, but that'll be a couple. So 4th down and a little bit more manageable, but not by much.
Surprised to see them run it there.
Yeah.
And I think that's indicative of what kind of night it's been. They've had a really tough time connecting through the air. And now on 4th down, you would think they have to throw it. The Knights probably know that. There is a first down to be picked up at the 5, as we mentioned before. But with just over 7 minutes to go, I think the Colonials have their focus set solely on making this a touchdown drive. I think what happens beyond that, we'll have to wait because they've called timeout.
Timeout. Under 7 minutes left to go. The clock has just been running and running for Morristown as Old Bridge has continued to get closer to win number 5 on the year. And I mean, for Old Bridge, barring the comeback that we mentioned a few times now, I mean, how big is this 5th win, this 5-1 start that Old Bridge is moments away from getting to?
Well, I think when you have a team in your division that now owns a tiebreaker over you, still has not lost in division play, it's important because you might not be able to secure a division title. And if you don't, then some of these non-divisional games become a bit more important. So I think this game certainly matters. I think it's a game that, even though they might not admit it on camera, this team really wanted to have this one after what happened last year. And I think what games you have looming ahead certainly matter as well. So I think when you look at the upcoming schedule, which will be on your screen in just a moment, you'll see that the Knights have a game coming up against Monroe, a game that they won fairly easily last year, and that was without Brody Nugent. So that's something to keep in mind as well.
Elms just puts this football up in the air. It is caught. Did he stretch out for the first down, though? Here on 4th down, they'll say no, and they'll say turnover on downs. Old Bridge football.
Good effort there by Mills. Very aware of where the sticks were. He reached for it and came up just a bit short. Here's a look at it slowed down.
He did reach his football out.
Yeah, I thought maybe he had it.
I think he got it.
I think he got it, yeah, I agree.
Even if he didn't get it with the initial catch, the stretch, I thought, at the end, got him that first down.
I thought he had it in live action, and I think the replay confirms that.
Yeah. If they had the replay power of the PDF Sports Network, then maybe it's first down Morristown.
I don't know if you can overturn that, even
That's
with
true.
replay.
You'd have to get a different angle. We have to be on the other side.
You'd have to be on the other sideline along the sticks.
It's about the best angle you could possibly get, though.
I think it's pretty clear on the replay that he got it.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll see Dixon now entering the game Brody Nugent, handoff goes to Dixon. Jeremiah Dixon working his way, bouncing to the outside. Here comes Jeremiah Dixon. He got a flag on the play, though, but Dixon continuing to work down. The ball has come out. The ball's come out. Well, they say he got it.
I think the ball went out of bounds, but it's going to come. I think it's going to call it back regardless. It was a late flag as Dixon was making his way towards that sideline.
As they say, it was in the area of holding.
In the backfield, this most likely will be holding against the Knights.
And penalties continue to line up and stack up for Old Bridge. The ball came out late for Jeremiah Dixon as well, but the recovery was out of bounds. If he somehow kept it in bounds, obviously that penalty would have gotten declined.
Yeah, and I think the negatives tonight for Old Bridge, the flags. Generally speaking, there haven't been many bad moments. There have been a couple of drops and the one interception, but they've done a lot well tonight. The penalties are something that will definitely be discussed throughout the week of preparation ahead of the next game.
And there's always, even despite you look at a 24-0 scoreline, there's always something to go back and look to. It's fundamentals when it comes to not avoiding holding penalties. There's been a couple false starts in this game, personal fouls against some of the great teams that you'll see in the playoffs. That can really get dangerous. Teams will capitalize. You won't always be able to convert those 3rd and 12s after a penalty that you've had. Obviously, Brody Nugent can make plays, but you can't put yourself in those positions where he has to make plays. But Nugent's come up time and time again. They're on 1st down. Dixon still in the backfield. And Dixon will take the handoff yet again as Jeremiah Dixon fights his way through for a solid gain. Bring up 2nd.
That's Teddy on the carry, Jake Brew.
And another flag.
Another flag. Some chatter and some talk after the play.
How late did that flag come in? I didn't see it until the very end, until you said it.
It came in well after the play had ended, but I think there was some words exchanged between the two sides, and the officials are right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Offsetting personal fouls.
Right.
Yep.
And they did give each other some high fives right after, so I guess they made up already. But
perhaps so. Though it looked like they signaled offsetting.
That's what I saw too, but they were backing this foot.
Maybe it was 2 against the Knights and 1 against the Colonials.
So 1 offsets. That's a pretty calm 3-penalty play. Usually when they call that many penalties, there's a lot more chaos to it.
Yeah, I think when you're nearing the end of a game that's become lopsided, the officials are trying to make sure
that doesn't happen,
that everything stays under control.
Yep. Gotta do what you gotta do. Another empty set. Now Dixon comes back to give him a ball carrier to maybe hand this football off to. They will go to Dixon, and Dixon gets stuffed inside the 5. Morristown just continuing to handle, and Old Bridge looking to run as much of this clock off as they can on this drive here on 3rd down.
So Dixon goes for a 25-yard.
Well, the Colonials certainly not rolling over defensively, and that's good to see if you're a fan of Morristown. But I don't think that you feel too badly about the effort of the defense in this game. They gave up 24. Part of that, though, they didn't score on the turnover drive. They got just the field goal. So you'd say 21 of those points are their responsibility. But they've been on the field a lot, and I think that's what factors in most to thinking that, you know, it wasn't a bad night for them. Could it have been better? Maybe. But they were on the field a lot, and you have to take that into consideration.
Nugent will hand this football off yet again. Amari Allsbrook working outside, and he's pushed out of bounds. Bring up 4th down, but I do agree, and also you have to factor in as well, say it's a 1st down, you'll have to factor in that Old Bridge was also starting off in very good field position quite often, and that's because of the 3rd and outs that this defense was able to force, and Morristown just not really moving this football. We'll see the carry from Allsbrook. It will be a 1st down. It just goes right past the tent there in front of our camera. With 4:57 left to go here in this 4th quarter. But a very, very solid performance for Old Bridge. Not the dominance that we saw against the Brunswicks, but pretty close so far. 24-0. Haven't allowed a point. 7 points allowed in the last 3 games for the Knights so far. They've got the football with a chance to start closing this thing out. Jeremiah Dixon fighting his way forward, and he'll pick up another solid game. Dixon was the main ball carrier last season. Those roles have now gone really to Chase Rizzo. But Dixon still is clearly showing that he's quite the hard runner and can pick up a ton of yardage. Tough to tackle as well.
You mentioned the dominance of the Knights over the last couple of weeks against the Brunswicks. And I think when you look at those scores, it's abundantly clear that it was a dominant night for the offense. The defense was great in both of those games. Don't get me wrong. They've hardly allowed anything in the last 3 weeks. But I think when you look at this score and you see 24-0, the defense will get a lot of credit for this one because that offensive number isn't huge. When you see 48 and 45, you know everybody's going to be raving about the offensive effort. The defense was great in those games, great once again for the third straight week tonight.
Nugent with Dixon to his right, two receivers to his right. High snap. Nugent will take it. He'll make a throw. Raimondi Jr. can't make that catch on the birthday. Got an opportunity. That'll bring up third down.
Third very short here, I think. Maybe we see the order of chivalry again.
Good.
Pick up 1 yard.
Maybe that's all you need. Don't need much.
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah. We've given out a lot of classic adages today, and that's yet another one. Always good, but no chivalry today on this play.
Enough of that, they say.
They
Probably
said
a
enough.
great option on this play.
Dixon looking to maybe take another carry here, and he will. Jeremiah Dixon picks up the first down and keeps this thing moving for the Old Bridge offense, 3:43.
Picks up the first down for Old Bridge. Edwin Fajardo.
Player trying to get up. I mean, these, and a lot of players, again, playing both sides of the football as well for both teams sometimes too, but Morristown does have a good amount of those players. We talk about Brown and Brow, but tired legs, tired football players have really put up a solid effort defensively. Obviously, like Joe talked about it, but 24-0 in this situation with how Brody Nugent has been firing things off. This offense has been firing things off. It's really, when you talk about Morristown, you're looking at the offense and what they were not able to do. Weren't able to get into the end zone, and that's what you have to talk about heading into next week is how can we start to put points on the board. New quarterback in as well for Old Bridge. Handoff to Dixon. Will be stuffed. As Aiden Rios gets put in at quarterback for Old Bridge.
Coming into the game, we knew that looking at the matchup last year, both teams in a perfect world would like to run the football. And the way the Knights defense has played this year, outside of that one game against Piscataway where they had a lot of success on the ground, we knew it would be tough for the Colonials to come in here and pound the rock. And that's what led me to believe that the team that really distinguished themselves in the passing game would be the team that came out on top in this game. And it's not as if the Knights have been lighting things up through the air. However, they've connected on those big plays when they've needed them. They've had a lot of big runs after catch, and they put together some good drives, whereas the Colonials have had a couple of big plays, but very few sustained drives. The ground game just wasn't there for them tonight, and they couldn't back it up with a passing game that was anywhere near as dynamic as Old Bridge.
Motion for Old Bridge. Rios the handoff. Dixon the carry. He's got a first down and ton of space for Old Bridge to work there as we're well under 2 minutes left to go. Old Bridge again. Aiden Rios, we've seen him a lot as receiver and obviously the quarterback, and as a sophomore, got some time left. Nugent is a senior. See what ends up being the situation next year for the Old Bridge Knights. Obviously still plenty of time left in this one, but it could be a look to next season for Aiden Rios, the quarterback.
And that is a very interesting point you make there, John, because I would say generally, and this is just a general rule, in the big skill position spots, the Knights that factored in last year have also factored in a big way this year. And, of course, with Brody Nugent graduating, that creates a big hole right in the center of this offense. And to get perhaps the heir apparent some reps at quarterback, definitely what the Knights will look to do down the stretch. And the more of those you get, typically bodes well for you because that means you were in command on the scoreboard.
Right, and you always want to see your backup quarterback, as they will put Nugent back in, obviously, to look like to take the final snap, as he put on a fantastic performance here today. 3 rushing touchdowns for the quarterback of Old Bridge, his 10th of the season, double-digit rushing touchdowns for Brody Nugent already through 6 games. And he's been a great quarterback as well. It's not like he can't throw the football. He very much can throw the football. And a lot of his rushing touchdowns were set up by big plays. Obviously, a pass to Chase Rizzo, Wallsbrook, and they'll take the knee. And that will expire the rest of this one. The Old Bridge Knights advance to 5-1 on the year. 3 touchdowns from Nugent, a field goal as well. 0 on the scoreboard for Morristown. This Old Bridge defense, this Old Bridge offense, they both work in symphony. And the Knights, hence next week, 5-1 as they take down Morristown. They avenge last season's loss, and the Knights are 5-1.
And they have to be feeling pretty good, John. We mentioned it earlier. They have Monroe back here 1 week from tonight. They then head on the road on October 17th before wrapping up back at home again against Colonia. That game against Monroe, definitely a game they have to have, especially given what we saw them do against the Falcons last year. Of course, we'll have that game for you back here on the PDF Sports Network. But if you're Old Bridge, 6 games in, you have to be feeling great. At this point last year, they were 3-3. They're now 5-1. They are clicking on both sides of the ball. And I think it's fair to say that the only thing that slowed them down tonight were their own pre-snap miscues, some personal fouls, some holds. It was penalty flags. If they clean that up, I'm not sure there's a defense that can slow down this Knights offense right now.
Not at all. And again, a dominant win here for the Old Bridge Knights. Nick, your final thoughts on this one?
I think, when we look at it this way, guys, think of it this way also. You look at the last 2 weeks, 45-7, 48-0. Then tonight, 24-0. Back-to-back shutouts. They've allowed just 7 points in their last 3 games since that Piscataway game. This team right now is firing on all cylinders. And as you mentioned, Joe, the only thing that realistically you take away as a negative is their own mistakes. Penalties, drops. They had a couple big a turnover in the red zone. There's a couple things that you can easily fix as the season goes on. You have 3 games left to fix those mistakes. And as I mentioned, you're still looking for help along the way, trying to catch up to Piscataway in the Gold Division. But you got to feel good if you're an Old Bridge fan with the way this team has been playing these last few weeks.
Phenomenal performance from Old Bridge. They defeat Morristown and the Colonials 24-0. The Knights are 5-1. Thank you all for tuning in to this presentation of Old Bridge Knights football here on the PDF Sports Network. Always great to be assigned, everybody. Great to be a part of this. Great to be a part of the PDF Sports Network. And thank you to everybody, all our sponsors, and everybody involved with making sure that this broadcast goes out on the air. We get to bring you Old Bridge Knights football. But for Joe Foreman, for Nicholas Bavona, I've been John McCooch, and we will see you another time.